is you.
That's right,
That's
Sarah.
unfortunate.
You
Or
are
at
the
least
face of
heard.
the brand.
Oh,
Yeah, or at least heard.
I could work with my voice. I could work with that. Hi,
Hey,
Internet.
hello, howdy, everybody. Hey, Gerbil the Druids at Dragon Meat. Sweet. Bunch of our UK listeners are going to be actually at Dragon Meat, which is awesome. And I'm jealous because Dragon Meat is like their big ass con out there.
Nice.
Oh, sweet. Raz Fox is dropping some fun facts. Fun fact about Sacred Time. The Orlanthe tradition is about the triumph of life over death. So expected that the renewal of the world go well. The lunar paradigm, hold on, she just clicked me down. Lunar paradigm has to argue that death and life are equally relevant outcomes, so the entire empire is very nervous and pious during Sacred Time. That's correct. So usually, like with the Orlanthe one, it's like, hey, the good side wins, guys, life comes back. But there are times within the lunar Sacred Time celebrations where everyone's like, well, fuck, chaos won, and it's just going to be a shitty year.
Yo, fucking Gerbo, thank you for those 100 biddies, my dude. What?
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Big
Sweet.
love.
Sweet.
Also,
Yeah, Troy's got a kick-ass haircut.
Yeah, Troy Doc Voids compliment your haircut.
Troy is Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element. That's his new look.
No, he doesn't have the mustache.
He doesn't have the plastic thing on the side of his head.
faces.
He is a man of many hair.
I see it. The hair is very similar.
Yeah, we need to get some blue woman to sing an impossible operetta now.
Oh, so good.
Fun fact that I was watching this thing about like the making of The Fifth Element, and that singing like that the alien diva does was actually, it's like humanly impossible. But the person that they filmed was like a real, she was a real opera singer, and her marriage fell apart because of the filming of that scene because it was like so stressful and everything.
Jeez.
Yeah. Also, she met someone else there that she got with, so whatever. Obviously, it wasn't that good. It wasn't also that good going in, but it was like someone was like, "I'm here for you" at the right time. So, some facts. Many people are sharing their Spotify Wraps at the end of the year. We have some Wrapped information as well. I'm going to be Ruby Rodway and stuff. So, some crazy facts, actually. Our biggest countries to let people listen to: US, UK, Sweden, Canada, and Australia. So that's pretty cool.
Minus Wyoming.
Hey, Sweden, Vason's coming up for you.
Yes, Vason is next. I am going to just go out on a limb and say Canada number 4. I'm still not sorry. Come at me.
In the name of universal healthcare, charge!
Yeah, I was never actually very rude to Canada. 92% of the people who listened to us started listening to us this year. So that's wild. If you've been with us since last year and before, thank you. We love you. If you joined us this year,
you're in the OG 8%, friends.
We still love you. So that's awesome. What else was there? Was another cool thing? 538% growth this year in people listening to our podcasts. And we are 19 people's number 1 podcast. So thank you to those 19 people.
Yeah, it was
whoever
like
you are.
19
actual people who don't know us. We're their number 1 podcast.
I was to say, I know these are not all of our friends. I don't have 19
I don't have 19. The friends I have are here right now. You can see them, and I have like maybe 3 more. So
it was like 77. It was like 77 or 100 and something in the top 10, which is also still very impressive.
Like, that's insane.
So what you're saying is we're growers, not showers.
Almost 100 people really like us.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
We have tens of fans.
Yeah, tens of fans.
Those are the best fans.
They are.
The only fans.
What's going to say? Gerbo. Oh, wait, hold on. Gerbo dropped some bad news here. What happened? I wasn't safe through last time. I was super tired. Helping my mom with stuff. Oh, the death of your brother. Bro, I'm so sorry to see that, Gerbo. That's awful. Our condolences.
Yeah, our loving condolences. That's tough.
Yeah, that's real tough, man. That's tough. That sucks. That's a bad note. Someone tell a joke.
I just told a bunch, man. I'm all joked out.
We don't need to tell a joke. Let's just move on to the next.
Yeah, so why don't we just move on to the game? Just a couple housekeeping things. Troy is busy saving people's lives, so he might actually have to leave to do that, or possibly go to a space station and plot to take over the Earth as well, and fight Bruce Willis.
You might have to help someone remove a mattress from their house.
Please, no.
Was that like a literal call? Was that seriously? Is that something?
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And they did. They removed the mattress.
Fucking Iowa.
With
that's all
mattress
I have to
guy
say.
standing there watching us.
They're just like, wow. Oh, because it was one of those things where
911, what's your emergency?
The delivery people
I
were
need
like,
my
oh no,
bed.
we don't remove stuff. Is that what happened? Fuckers.
No, the guy was like, well, I'm just one guy. I can't get it by myself. And I'm like,
This is not what. Don't ever do this again. Like, I'm gonna help you, but never do this again.
Wow.
oh my God.
I've had like I don't have
Recovery
things
is
like,
good, by the way.
Yeah. Awesome.
Recovery is going very well. I'm back to full duty.
Beauty.
I'm back to moving weights, lifting stuff, putting stuff down, picking stuff up, putting stuff down. It's going well. So
Like mattresses.
Including mattresses. Yeah.
like mattresses.
That was
With
pre-op. When
mattresses.
he moves his second mattress on a fire call, we will know he's back at it 100%.
Awesome.
I
Next
found
one,
out
the only-
a very interesting piece of trivia today, by the way.
Yeah, go.
So we started this program at the fire station last month where we basically open invitation to all the retired members of the fire station to come in, have some coffee. We buy like donuts or bagels or whatever, and they just kind of hang out and like, you know, have that community again. So one of the guys that came in, he worked on the department for 30 plus years. And I didn't know this, but Rocky Marciano, who is like one of the most famous boxers of all time, he died in a plane crash, and his plane crashed in Newton, Iowa. And we responded to that plane crash. And one of the guys that was retired from the department was on that call.
That's insane.
That is some crazy
Can I ask a really
shit.
dumb question? So, like, that American Pie song is about like Ricky Valens, I think, or someone who died. Like that wasn't the same plane crash, right? That was a separate.
No, that is another
Okay.
very prolific plane crash.
Gotcha.
But I think if I'm thinking of the right guy, I think Rocky Marciano was like undefeated and held the best record in boxing of all time up until Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently broke it.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's insane to think he died of a plane crash too. It's like wicked insane.
Fucking Newton, Iowa, boys.
Yeah.
The department I work at.
It's a flyover state, so sometimes they don't make it all the way, right? Like
there's
sometimes
the
they
joke. Perfect. Something to lift our spirits. Plane crashes. Thanks.
Dark
Christian.
humor. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can always count on me for that.
Is it just on my end, or does Christian sound a little quiet?
His volume is a little lower than everybody else's. It's clear, but it is a little lower.
What if I get like super close?
I can't actually. I think it is a little better.
Okay, I'll do my best to stay close to it, but it does feel like it's weird having it like right in my face. Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable, but I'll do my best. All right, let's get started. Who wants to recap?
Hang on. We went into the temple. That is what happened last episode. Yes. So we had returned to the Dragon Newt temple that we had originally found our rainbow worm friend at, whose name I shock. There's K's and A's and S's sounds.
Shavashak.
Shavashak. Yes. Where we had originally found our Shavashak friend. And we were leading none other than Lake of Blackspear, the Prince of Sartar, and her closest compatriots to the temple in the hopes that Leica would go in and get a piece of the dragon. And I don't think she told us about the map bit. She was unable to enter the temple. And after a pep talk from one of her compatriots where, you know, like we are young people, so we are not burdened by the desires and ambitions and weights of the world yet. And therefore we should be able to enter this temple and do this thing that the adults cannot, which was very unhelpful. But we did enter the temple after that. And we proceeded to walk down a hall completely littered with dragon porn. Distinctly remember the dragon porn mosaics. But it was clear that it was a very old temple. We were able to pass the sealed doors that kept us out before. It was apparently the time for them to open now. So we got through those. It was some sort of
on the thing.
Yeah, it was some sort of like hybrid temple / cloister monastery thing. There were the remains of old fucking priests scattered throughout here and there. But our dragon friend led us through the temple-ish. Did not talk too much about the dragonborn, but we did eventually get to a sort of gate portal mirror way thing. And when we tried to go through it, we were told that we would have to like set aside some of like our earthly desires or ambitions in order to prove ourselves worthy, like, and unburden ourselves to cross through the threshold. And each of us were tested in a personal way about a fear or desire or hatred or something that we hold close to ourselves. And everybody passed that except for Kyrese and Arissa, who were unable to let go of their various passions during the test, and therefore had some alone time on the other side. PG alone time, I'm sure. But nevertheless, they were left alone in the silence and awkwardness while all of their friends were shunted through this portal to continue the quest. On the other side,
they have no magic. They're fucked.
On the other side of the portal, that's basically what we were like. We were like, "Where's Kyrese and Arissa?" And then we're like, "Fuck! Like, I don't know how to do this. I swing a sword sometimes. Those are my skills." So like, man, we're gonna have to touch the shiny magic thing without the people who touch the shiny magic things. And luckily for us in the room, there were, I believe, only 2 things on pedestals. One was a scroll that everyone kept calling a book. Yeah. And on the other one was like this weird engraved canister thing. After asking Shabashak about the weird engraved canister thing, he basically said, "I wouldn't touch it if I were you. It's some kind of weapon, and the people last time who touched it destroyed themselves with it." And then Rue was like, "What if we touch it and give it to the Lunars?" And he was just like, "No." It was very hard, but Rue did not touch the canister and left it behind. I think it was Bryn who took the scroll.
Yep.
And then we returned through the portal. The way back was easier than the way through originally. Reunited with our friends. Resisted the urge to go down the chamber full of poisonous gas, which as lifelong RPGers, you can imagine how difficult that was for each of us to not do that. And we returned to the outside to Leica and her awaiting compatriots, presented the scroll, and she then revealed that the scroll contained the locations of several other pieces of the dragon. Was talking all about her plans and stuff to use the dragon, and then the dragon was like, "Bam, bitch, don't talk about me like I'm not here." And basically shut her down on that, and it was like, "If I decide to help you after getting my body back, I will, and if not, tough luck. QQ, what are you gonna do about it?" And then he went back into his orb. So we all kind of had a moment where we digested that. Leica was basically like, "All right, thank you so much for the map and everything. The rest of us grown-ups will handle the rest of this. You kids can go back to your villages and pastoral lives." On our way back to our villages and pastoral lives, we were ambushed by a large detachment of Lunars, like 30 of them. And we were like, "Oh, fuck," for like 30 seconds while some shit talking was happening. And then in come the reinforcements. It's Gordengar and all of the inner circle and Aranina and Lonson and all the murderers you love most. They showed up from behind. So it was like, "We have you surrounded." And we're like, "Do you? We have you surrounded, actually." And with a great reversal of fortune, we slaughtered the shit out of the Lunars. Even the ones Rue was like, "Don't kill. We can question them." They really fucking killed him. They killed him hard and without hesitation, much to Rue's distress. We returned to the town after that slaughter, kind of in mixed spirits, actually. It was very single-sided. A few people were injured, but nothing serious. No losses on our side. But people were kind of in low spirits because this just seems to be foreshadowing the massive retaliation and destruction everybody at this point knows is coming. Back at the hall, in that kind of somber mixed spirit, Leica basically called Gordengar out and was like, "Hey, you should leave." And Leica was right. But Gordengar grumbled and said something non-committal about doing that. Leica, God damn it, I keep calling her Leica. It's clear. God, there are two, and they don't
I
like each other.
I wasn't going to correct you to the end, but it's understandable. Like both really badass women,
It's
so
Clear
it's understandable.
Starbrow, not Leica
Yeah.
Blackspear.
Yeah.
Replace. Find all and replace, please. Thank you.
Mhm.
God, I confuse those two so much, which I'm sure they would love if they knew
Yeah,
about.
they can't stand each other. Yeah,
Really like that I confused them.
right.
Kalir was like, hey, you should leave. And Gordengar was like, non-committal about that. And was being really proud and Gordengari about it. And then Rue was like, hey,
An excellent verb.
Kalir is right. And Gordengar would just kind of double down on the being proud and fighting and
Listen, violence is always an option, right?
It's not always the best option.
But it's always an option.
And then
And it is the
Gordengar basically
Orlanthi
said that.
favorite option.
Yes, but it is an option, and I like it. We ate, we drank, and sort of dispersed to our various homes and lives to prepare for sacred time, knowing that sacred time is going to be sort of the brief calm before the storm. Apparently, the Lunars also celebrate sacred time and stuff, so people don't really fight or do war during that. So in theory, we should have a little break, but as soon as sacred time's kind of over and the roads open, you know, everybody knows something real big and bad is coming. Ta-da.
Yeah. So let's start there. Some time goes by. The storms of storm season begin to subside. There's not as much thunder and hail and rain anymore. The weather just becomes just kind of still. And it's neither cold nor warm. It just feels like, for those of you who went deep into your initiations and were at the end of the world, and remember being there almost to face the devil, you remember that feeling of the air just being still and neither cold nor warm. It's just anticipating something. And that's what it feels like the world is doing. It feels like it's neither dead nor alive. But in the weeks, there are 3 weeks that lead up to the sacred time. And for some of you, Discar and Rue, that's the Great Hunt, which is the biggest, baddest celebration of the year for hunting gods. So I'm going to start with Des first, because Baroth is like, hey, are you going to, you coming with me?
Yeah, of course.
And you go hunting, and not only is it important to get food for sacred time for the people, but it's also how the hunt goes is seen as an omen for the coming year. So
Like
if you
the
want,
deer is covered in tumors and also has a fucking vestigial limb hanging off of it. Like,
which you couldn't see because you had an entire beehive on your head.
So all right, we'll just abstract. We'll abstract this as much as possible, Des. But give me a so let's call it just a track roll.
All right.
Let's see how you do.
Gerbo, do not worry. We have a lot of rerolls. Y'all have been excruciatingly generous to us. I have track. There are a number of rerolls all around that are still banked.
I'm going to save them for next session.
yeah. Shit.
Well,
I'm
what
just
is
going to
the
say
roll,
that I'm
then?
absolutely wearing the Crimson Bat t-shirt for next session.
Oh boy. I got a 37 out of 82.
Hey.
So
I'll
success.
wear my brown pants next session.
So you're talking. So you're stalking a deer, not a ghost deer because those are sacred, but a deer, and it goes well. But why don't you tell us how it goes? Tell us what happens, and I'll jump in with appropriate omens, perhaps.
Okay. Well, let's see.
I'll start with an omen. You find the track of this deer, and you begin on it, and you begin following it, but it leads you very, very, very far, much farther than you're used to going to have to track a deer. It takes you an exceptionally long time to get a good shot on it. And when you do finally, and you do bring it down, you find that you're very, very far outside of the Tula, the clan lands.
That is that is not great, but a hunt is a hunt.
So you dispatch it with the peaceful cut, and it is not. It's a good, listen, like anything that you take your meat, you have good meat. This is a little bit of a scrawny deer. It looks like it has been having a harder time of finding food and bulking up for the winter. So actually, I'm sorry, winter's ending. It must have had a hard time over the winter, and lost a lot of weight. So it's a scrawnier deer. It's lean, very lean.
So I'll say that as you had said, the hunt did take us outside the clan lands. It took us quite a bit longer than we had anticipated, and the quality isn't, the quality, I guess, of the meat isn't super great because it, like us, has been having a hard time throughout this winter. But nonetheless, we were able to track it, got a clean shot, and managed to take care of it peacefully in our hunt, and dress it and take what we need back.
Sounds good.
I love how grumbly and few words Baroth and Discar both are when they're together.
Yeah,
They're like, "You coming?" Yeah, and that's like all they say during the most sacred hunt of the year. Just two bears who are men for a little while.
Must there be more words?
So you have Baroth is a little bit like, yeah, mine was a little lean too. But if we got to hunt more to feed the people, we will.
Yep. And that will hopefully not be a problem.
Yeah, I hope not too. And you just kind of like throw your meat over your shoulders and walk back. Yeah, I know. I knew Troy. I know Troy. The minute I said that, I knew that was coming.
Oh my god, it's been a long time since we've had a big dick Discar joke. There it is.
Yeah. Just
back from the past.
You're
like
welcome.
A rising specter.
I said the joke without any words. I simply winked.
I just knew it was coming. Rue, and particularly for you, you find that a wild day is approaching, and you always start to feel like an anxiousness as it comes, like something that's a wildness that's taking over. But it's particularly strong this year, and you've learned from some of your time, kind of just talking to Sees the Wind and Walks in the Dark, that this is Telmor's most holy day of the year. That's coming up. This is a very big hunt. The pack goes hunting. It's very common for individuals to have visions of their own during the hunt that not only show their places in the pack, but also give them some glimpses into the year to come or something like that, and also give some omens to things. And as that night arrives, is there anything you want to do beforehand, to talk to anyone beforehand or anything like that?
Rue is going to ask all of his friends here, each of you, if you would meet him at his house at maybe like an hour or two after dawn the next morning. There's an important Telmori ritual, and he would like you to be there if you want to come.
Yeah, Arissa is floored that she would be invited to this because it's a Telmori thing, but after she processes that, of course, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know, okay?
Just come as yourself.
I can do that.
Aw, he's so happy. All right, so after inviting everybody to be there, like maybe 2 hours after dawn the next morning, he will go out with Syl and begin this big sacred hunt.
Syl herself has been very like, when you see like animals, like I'm thinking of like when you see like tigers or wolves in the zoos and they're just like pacing and pacing and pacing because they're very wound up about
Big
something.
energy.
It's sad to see, but they have that big energy. She's had that energy too. The same thing that you have. She's just been pacing around
Ready
and
to
sniffing
run.
the wind. And yeah. And you feel even in your human self with your senses are a little better than everyone else's as far as like sense of smell, sense of hearing, but it even feels more heightened now. Like you can smell something on the wind. There's a sense of excitement coming to you. So you and Syl head out into the woods, and as you get into the woods, you find walks in the dark and sees the wind waiting for you, kind of just like leaning on a tree, using a bone to pick her teeth.
He kind of just laughs a little to himself, and he'll head over to them.
You ready?
Yeah.
Don't be surprised out there. It's different for everyone. Sometimes you might see things.
I won't blink.
You won't miss it. Head deeper into the woods. And as you do, and the moon fully turns on you and the sun goes down, you shift. But typically, Rue, you only have like, at best so far, you've had like some scattered memories of these times when you've shifted, and kind of like almost like a dream that you had, but you remembered very well. And at best, maybe just a feeling of like a lucid dream where you were conscious of what was going on, but you were still like observing it as yourself, but within like another body, basically this wolf self of yourself. But this time you're fully present. You're fully present for this. And so you shift and you run next to, now it's a party of 4 wolves running through the woods, and you join a big pack, and there's howling in the distances, and you join this pack. And you recognize some of them because one of the wolves just has still in his wolf form a huge necklace of teeth. And so you recognize the wolf forms of some of these other Telmori that you know, but you all set off on a hunt. And you're heading through the woods. And you know, it's just like the Great Hunt, it's very important that you bring something down tonight because it is an omen for how the next year is going to be. And it's very important for that because Telmor is a hunter. And as you're hunting through the woods become very foggy. It's that high mountain pass, and it's those tall pine trees, and it's so quiet in between them, and you're used to running between them, but all of a sudden they become very deep and foggy, and you become separated, you and Syl. You realize you're lost. And the howls, you can hear them still, but the way, you know how fog, where it's like you can hear something, but you're not sure if it's close or far away, and the sound seems to echo through these forests, and you realize all of a sudden that the two of you are alone. And the woods suddenly become just like deathly still. Like the stillness when the absolute apex predator is there and nature is just holding its breath, hoping that it passes. And you just, you guys kind of circle and you're looking around and you see it emerge from the woods. It's just a giant wolf. And it is black and gray fur. And on its fur in it, you see these strange spirals.
Ooh. All right.
And you realize its eyes glow a yellow. And there are wisps behind it that look like other wolves, but they seem almost to be made out of smoke. And they're attached somehow to this wolf. And you see a red wolf and a black wolf and a white wolf. And a gray wolf and a silver wolf. You see 6. You don't see the 7th. Nobody's ever seen the 7th tail of the 7-tailed wolf. But this is the whiter spirit of the mountain Telmori, the 7-tailed wolf, the son of Telmor and Mika himself.
Oh shit. Rue pauses for like just a breath and goes completely still, like everything else here. And then he will breathe and walk again and move on purpose because he is not prey.
And the wolf, the 7-tailed wolf, just like pads up to you with massive shoulders. And it stops before you, and you see its tongue kind of like hanging out. You know, a wolf's kind of, and it's this long red tongue, and you see its teeth, white teeth, just shining white teeth, so white, so sharp, and it looks and it sniffs you. And there's that sniff of recognition that you're one of the pack, or you could be one of the pack, but you're being tested here. And the smoke wolves just they're just hanging back, circling you. And then you hear a snap. And you look, and it's a doe, and the doe is off and running. And you know what you have to do.
Okay, I have to catch it.
You take off after the doe.
Did send you a direct message.
I will look, because I'm not in there. Hold on a minute. Let me just pop in there. Okay. It is an elk doe, or a female elk. Okay.
I planned out things.
Thank you for that message. Yes, it is an elk, a female elk, and she's running and she's scared, and you're running after her, and you're on her, and as you're running, Rue, you just thinking of those teeth and how sharp those teeth are and how those teeth bring death, and you can hear the hoofs clomping in the pine before you, and you're running. Tell me how you take the wolf down, Amber. You're always great at this. Tell me how the wolf takes the elk down, rather.
Rue goes into the place where there is nothing but himself and the target, and he lets himself just flow over the land. Roots, trees, rocks, brush, just all of it, not even thinking about it, moving around it, moving over it, traversing the obstacles, not giving himself even a second to think too much. It's all wolf. It's all just doing what your body was made to do, what you were born to do, what is in your blood. He hones in on that like it's the only thing in the world and runs harder than he's ever run before. This is not an ambush. It is not how wolves usually hunt, picking off the weaker prey, isolating an easy target, catching something slow, using stealth. This is a contest between an incredibly fit prey and fit predator to see which one will win. It is a very fair fight. But he just gives it his all. He is going to outrun it.
And you do,
or not.
You're
strength alone.
It feels like a long chase, but you're gaining ground, and the elk is it's starting to panic, and it's getting tired, and you're pushing on, and so finally you're on it, and you can take out those hamstrings if you need to bring it down.
Swift, hard bite to the back of the leg,
and you bring it down, and you pounce on it, and you get your teeth. But for a moment, as you get your teeth into the throat, you feel it as those white teeth that the seven-tailed wolf had, the sharpest teeth of Telmore. You sink those teeth into its neck, and you puncture an artery, and you can feel the blood just gush into your mouth. And it just fills you with life. This animal's death is the life of the pack. And that's the cycle. Some things die that others might live. And there's no dishonor in that. It's just like Telmore told you, you don't weep for things that die fulfilling their destiny. But as you feel those teeth sink in, you just think, with those teeth, you can provide for your pack. You can defend your pack. You can conquer things that want to destroy your pack with those teeth. And you feel the elk let out its last breaths beneath you, and you just howl. You let your pack know that you're successful, and you hear a tremendous, deep howl that's almost then echoed 7 more times, very, very close behind you. You look up top of a small hill right at the edge of where some trees are, and you see the seven-tailed wolf looking down on you, approvingly this time.
Deep breath. He's wired, shaky wolf right here, all adrenaline. When the mists and vision and whatnot clear, he will find his sister again.
She was with you. She
Yeah.
kept a very good pace with you. She managed to actually take out the other hamstring, but it was you who did the killing bite. But you have a kill.
All right. So Ruin will start eating a little bit of it, but most of the hard work happens after dawn when Ruin returns to.
And I will say that walks in the dark and sees the wind show up, as well as Shadow, and I can't think of the other one's name. You have like 2 wolf friends and their friends. You share a nice little wolf meal from them.
Give it a little snack, but the bulk of the elk
snackle.
remains
Yep.
for dawn. When Rue returns to his 2-legged form, takes 10-15 minutes to find the nearest hidden stash of clothes and tools in the woods. And then he comes back and hoists the elk up over his shoulders. She's quite heavy and bloody, and it is a mess, and it's visceral, and it's steaming in the cold. And he trudges back through the early dawn dark forest toward his house, where he asked his friends to meet him. Gets there a little before them. Gave them a 2-hour window.
Yeah. What are you doing? Well, you're going to get this meat ready, right?
And he starts to sort of half field dress the elk, get her open, start removing some things, start on the hide. Working just very determinedly, very focused. He gave himself a small window. He's kicking himself a little bit for the smallness of the window, but working as fast as he can. So when you guys arrive, Rue is out. He's given himself a little distance from his actual yard and stuff area. This is messy work, away from the horse, who is his nemesis. But you see him out there working on field dressing, like a cow elk carcass. It's blood everywhere. He's got quite a lot of it on him. He's wearing very light clothes for the season. He found kind of like a more fall stash there, but doesn't seem to be bothered by the cold at this time. But he sees you all approaching, and he sort of smiles and looks a little embarrassed. But he basically just kind of waves you over. And he looks at Syl, because everything he knows about this he learned from her.
Syl's still a little bloody, especially like around the face and the ear area, but very proud of you.
Thank you guys for coming. So this is one of the most important rituals the Telmori have. It's on the most sacred night, the morning of after the most sacred night in this case, but I'm sure Telmor won't mind. Normally the pack hunts together, but I think this will do. But basically this hunt is for the pack. It's to show you all that you are parts of a whole, each one of you vital. And well, you guys are my pack. So it goes like this. He sort of bends down to the elk and opens her mouth up. He gets a knife out and reaches into her jaw and starts scraping around in the jaw for a minute, and he removes her ivories. Fun fact, elk have little kind of like vestigial tusks. 2 of their molars are actually tusks, and they are ivory back in their jaws. Not a lot.
Second time we're talking about vestigial things.
Vestigial things. This is a vestigial night. And he turns to face you all, holding these bloodied ivories in his hand, and he says, Kymri's 2 Eyes. To you, I give the ivories. You have been hard to see, hidden, but I see you now. Your intuition and insight always seek the hidden truths of the world, the hidden powers, the hidden bonds. And you have this perspective and this insight that strip away the outside of things and reveal what matters most underneath. You've shown me so many beautiful and rare things and honest things since our initiation brought us together. And you have so much more to share. Our world is bigger with you in it. And he hands you the elk ivories.
As you hand them to me, I go up to you, and I know you're quite a bit taller than me, but I kind of reach up my hand to, like, behind your neck, behind your head, and I just pull your head like and touch your forehead against mine, and I just kind of like embrace you and take the ivories from your hand.
He gives you a warm hug back, letting his forehead rest to yours a moment. Arissa. He walks back over to the elk corpse and he laughs a little and he's like, I know this is a little sort of outside of your brand. You don't have to eat any of it. But he removes a pile of like the tendons and the sinew. And he gathers it up and he hands it out to you, looking a little apologetic, but he says, I've seen you put yourself apart all of your life. I've watched you stand at the edges of festivals and sit on the shores of swimming holes. I've watched you smile tightly when you were hurting and hug your arms to your chest. But Arissa, White Lady of Shonaluri, you hold this pack together. When ugly things like revenge and fear and anger pull us in different directions, you're always there to bring us back together by being kind. You take the time to be still and to be quiet and to be gentle. And you are always there for each of us, just below the skin. And he hands you the tendons.
She takes it with no question, as it is, even though it's one of the stranger things she's been handed. But she does not care. She steps forward and pulls him into a close hug.
He hugs her back. A little bit bloody, a little bit messy.
They're
but
both a little bloody at this point. It's fine. She's holding tendons. And she kind of
those can be used in crafting purposes.
Yeah, she says, these will be used to continue to form even new life. Thank you. And she'll wrap them up nicely and put them in her bag.
Descara. He turns over and he lifts the kind of still raw, still steaming hide that he's rolled on the ground. And he turns to you. When I first met you in the Great Hall when we were 5 years old, and I was just starting to realize I was different and that other children didn't have fur on their stomachs or yellow eyes. You came over to the corner I'd put myself in, past the kids who were staring, and you started talking to me. And you told me about a hollow tree you'd found by the riverbank. And when I asked you, aren't you afraid of me? You looked almost puzzled. And you said, of course not, that we were friends. And I don't even need to ask to know that's just about how it went with everyone here. You've been protecting me ever since. To you, I give the hide. You never hesitate to put yourself between your loved ones and threats. You never hesitate to take the hit for someone who can't. You are the brother that I never had, and you are the protector of this pack. And he hands you the hide.
I think Des is just going to start to cry.
Thank God. He hugs you and just kind of rests his face against your shoulder to hide the fact that he's crying a little too, fucker.
And Des will give you a hug back, and it has been an honor to be your friend for so long and share what we have come to do.
He puts his hand to the back of your neck a moment and rests his forehead to yours and says, I love you, brother.
I love you too, brother.
He turns back to the elk body again, and he removes the liver. And he turns to you, Bryn. The first time I saw courage outside of my home, it was you who showed it to me. You were the smallest kid in the Vale, but you always jumped from the highest cliffs, even if you screamed all the way down. You weren't always the first to the top of the trees, but you were always the first to start climbing. You've never done anything in your life halfway, got knocked down the most and stood up the fastest. You were 8 years old when you picked up the axe, and you never put it down. And everyone here watched you do it. I watched you do it. And I am watching you still, in awe of your courage, as if I were 8 years old. And he hands you the still warm liver.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks.
I love it. He just smiles, then he pulls her in for a hug.
Oh, yeah, she definitely hugs him.
Rests his forehead to the top of her head because she's so short.
I'm so proud of you.
And finally, he turns back to the last pile and lifts up the heart and a few pieces of bone. And he turns to Quicksilver. With my sister, I share the heart and bones because at our core, we are one. My life changed when I met you. When I found you, I found myself. And he kneels down to present her with it.
Had big crying, like ears kind of like go sideways, and the tail wags, but like the low wag, like middle wag, and like big crying like wolf eyes, and you get a total boop and like a cold nose somewhere. Yeah.
And then he just sort of takes a deep breath, kind of looks at the mess, and then looks out over the veil at the rising sun, and looks back to you all. You are my pack, and I am incomplete without you. And I need your help. There's something that I have to do that I can't do without you. I wish this could wait. I wish it could wait forever. Would you come inside with me? He sort of kind of just wipes his hands on his shirt. We'll deal with that later. And heads to his house. He opens the door for them and invites you all into his little lodge. It's kind of a one-room situation, bed off to the corner, hearth, fire, table. He's pulled the table out away from the wall and arranged the couple chairs he has, and then a big old log, a stack of hides, improvisational seating arrangements. And he just kind of gestures to the table for you all to sit, and he walks up to it. Oh no, it's all raw, y'all. Jess is like, mine is cooked liver. It's all raw, baby.
I was like, mine is a cooked liver? No, it's raw? Am I supposed to eat this? What do I do?
Yeah, the Liver King actually comes barreling out of the woods and tells you he's not on peds and eats it in front of you.
Don't sully this wholesome moment with fucking Liver King. Fuck that guy. All right.
On the table is a hide that has been cured. It's facing the skin side up, and there is drawings on it. It's a map. It's a map of the Vale. And it has some points marked on it. Rue kind of looks over it while you take your seats. And he looks, he was just crying before with you guys, just so happy and so moved. And he looks like stone serious now, grim. I think I know what we have to do for the Vale. I've been thinking of this for months, ever since they came to collect taxes on the cattle. And I've done everything I can to find another way, and this is the only way that makes any sense. And I need you all to know that I'm not suggesting this because our home and our sacred places and the Vale mean nothing. I'm suggesting it because it means everything. But he looks down at the map. This is the Vale, and this is the dough run. And up here is where we can put the dam. And over here is where the Lunars will come to enter the Vale. And that's where we put our fighting forces to draw them in. And when they get to here, we blow the dam. And there will be no homes for them to burn, no fields for them to salt. Nothing but a floodplain full of dead Lunars.
I think Kymrese is the first to react, and he kind of shifts abruptly when he realizes Rue is done talking, and he walks over to Rue and he's got one hand like on the map where the veil is, and then he turns and he stares at Rue like very intently for a moment. That fire orange eye and that icy blue eye just look. You can tell Rue they're looking for the thing that's underneath, the thing that's unseen, right? And he puts a hand on your shoulder and he offers you this kind of coy smile, and he says, "I told you we were going to need boats."
He just pulls you in and hugs you again. It's a very different hug than the one before, but it has just as much heart.
And in that moment, that Kymrese, he is right there with you. He understands that's, in fact, he thinks that he foresaw something like that happening. So this fucking dragon better turn into a straight up boat.
I will jump into here for Kymrese. Everybody would know this, but Kymrese specifically would understand this, that the Doe Run isn't just a stream. The Doe Run is the wife of the Black Stag. It is a spirit. So you need to talk to the spirit and get an okay on this too. And probably with, the people in the clan. But
I think Kymrese would mention that as well later.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah, but I'm just pointing out that you would know that for sure.
Gotcha.
That's why I need all of you. I need
What do we need to do?
The first thing we need to do is convince everyone else. We'll have to move all of the children, all of the elderly, all of the families who are non-combatants. They'll all have to be moved out in small groups as soon as the road's clear, a little at a time, so people don't notice.
The Rainbow Worm promised that he would help with that. That is the one thing that I said I need boats, and he said I will get those people to safety.
I think he said he was a boat, right? Didn't he say he was a boat? Didn't he say I'm the boat?
He would be the boat that would get the people out of there. He fucking said that. He promised that shit. So
remember.
So it's at this point that Arissa reaches into her bag and just pulls out the orb and takes it out of its little scarf and just kind of places it down and just very quietly says, "Do you have any input, friend?"
A wind blows from outside, and the very small hut almost shudders at that wind, and then something suddenly is snaking through the air above you, and it's big. It almost takes up your entire hut, Rue. It's Shavashak, and he kind of twists and coils, almost as he kind of swims through the air when he does appear to you guys, and it always seems to be in a circle. And it almost as if a serpent eating its own tail, he's almost kind of chasing his tail. He doesn't complete it necessarily, but there's always a circle of that. And he swims over you. And he says, "The plan is a wise one. I will aid as I have promised."
Thank you.
Others may not listen at first, but we will convince them.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing is Gordinger is set to stay.
I know.
How are we going to change his mind?
We talked to his inner circle. There are members there that will listen to us. Lonson will listen to you. Rue, I know you and Aranita will listen.
My mom.
Yeah.
Baroth.
Okay. Then he'll have no choice.
Gordinger is not one leader.
And this plan, it's not us. It's the other way. It's an open battlefield and a trick. It's playing dead in the underworld and biding your time. It's destroying everything so it can be born again.
Our ancestors had to leave this veil once for their safety. When the Society of Worms
Empire of Worms Friends. Yeah.
Mm.
Empire. That was it.
Yeah.
When the Empire of Worms Friends took over. This is just a different threat. We can leave, and we can come back stronger like they did.
Rue is looking a little more heartened by it's just being here for it. He looks at you, Discara.
Discar just has been kind of nodding his head. He's always he never could quite always grasp what your plans are, but he knows that they're usually the right way to go. So he'll just say that no matter what, I'll always be with you, even if I have to find you again.
Okay. We have work to do. The first thing is convincing the members of the inner circle and prominent members of the town who we can. And then if we can present a united plan and a united force with support to Gordengar, we can sway him. We have to. And after that, we'll have to move all the non-combatants out of the Vale a little at a time through secret routes. They're going to have to go to other clans with their kin. We'll have to move cattle, supplies to help offset the burdens on the other towns.
Jump in here, Bryn. You actually already started some of this, if you remember. You went with Lonson and Gordengar over Kangal's Bridge and that back way down to the other side, and you gave a bunch of cattle to the Stoneleaper clan, which is the clan that Ezreal is from. Specifically for this reason, he kind of knew that this was coming. They were going to
take some of us. Yeah.
Yep.
And the people who remain, they have to be ready to fight. They have to be capable. Everyone will have a role to play in the plan. When the Lunars arrive, we'll need people down here at the mouth of the Vale where they'll approach from to meet them in the field, to put on the illusion of engaging them in open combat, to fight them and draw them further in to the path of the floodplain. And they have to do it in a way that they won't be suspicious that we're doing something else. There have to be enough of them to be reasonable, to look reasonable. And they have to be fast, because they have to get out of the floodplain when we blow the dam. It will happen very fast. We'll need all craftspeople, engineers, priests, magic to construct the dam and to take it down. Kymrese and Orissa, we can't do it without water spirits. The land has to be with us for something like this to work.
You talk to the earth and I'll talk to the water. I look at Orissa.
I could do that.
And then we'll need point people, leaders to keep folks organized and together when we start making the final retreat out of the valley. And we need people to cover the path so any stray Lunars cannot follow. We'll have to have ways to close passages, to veil the runs, to kill pursuers. The bulk of them have to stay in the valley, though, to be met by the Doe Run. It's a crazy plan. I know. But everything else that I've thought of ends with our people being slaughtered here for pride.
Chavashek's going to talk here for a minute. And he says, if I may.
Please.
I can help with obscuring some of the ways. And I can give advice. Start not with the chief, but with those around him. Start with his warriors. Start with the one who cannot see as others see.
Oh.
For Morganeth is blind.
Morganeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Morganeth. Who's the shaman again? I keep forgetting his name.
Saven,
Saban.
Saban.
who's Gordagar's brother, by the way, also. Yeah.
Jorganoth. We need.
He's all about the last stand. He's probably not the best guy.
I mean, we're gonna need people making that fight there on the ground.
but he's
though.
like, oh, I can fight to the death. Fucking sweet. I've been waiting for this
God
shit.
damn it, Jorganoth.
Done.
My man.
Maybe not Jorganoth.
No.
Yeah.
Talk to the sensible warriors. Lonson.
Aranina.
Irenina seems very sensible. Talk to his trickster.
He was going to be the first one I approach.
If you each
Celadon
take
will
some
love
of them,
this. Celadon is the only one I know who will love this. I'm sure others will see that it's sensible and they will do it, but not with the relish of Celadon.
Relish of Celadon. That sounds like a prequel.
The mustard of Jorganoth.
The relish of Celadon.
Yeah.
The ketchup of Gordon.
Instead of the compadres, it's the condiments.
Hey fans, if you want to suggest a condiment to complement each of our prominent NPCs, we would love to hear them.
Pause. What condiment are each of our player characters? I need to
Would
know.
also love
this.
your insights, fans.
I'm just a mayo because I'm the GM, so that's the start.
I'm just
Regular
a
ass
mayo.
mayo. Perhaps those of you who are closest to them start there. You have time before Secret Season starts. You do. You have a couple weeks.
Yeah, I can talk to Aranina and my mom for sure. Maybe Morganeth through her. If I get my mom first, Morganeth will be more likely to listen.
I can also talk to Morganeth, having participated in a lot of rituals with her.
Reese, do you think you can talk to Saban and Celadon?
I think Saban will listen to the spirits if the spirits wish this to happen. Saban is a man of reason. Celadon, though, that man he is a trickster. He is not someone that I don't feel I am the best person to speak with him. I'm interested in the truth, not in illusion.
Fair enough. I can talk to Celadon. I mean,
Celadon's like the person Kymreese hates the most in this entire
clearly. Kelly, you've also had some of the most interactions with him.
because I hate him. Because he stands for everything I loathe.
There's something in there about lies, telling the truth.
It's fine.
So you're going to
Bryn,
divide everyone? Yeah.
The Smith
Okay.
guy, he's actually kind of prominent in the town too. He's not in the inner circle, but he is a prominent figure, and we might need him to help construct the dam. Bryn.
Havar.
Yeah.
Havar.
Bryn can talk to
Harvar.
Lunson and
Harvar?
Arvar, maybe.
Havar, yeah.
Havar, yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Harvar and I go back.
Don't, Descara, talk to everyone, really. You're good with people. They like to listen to you. Yes. The Barath just shows up and you have my bear. We're gonna ride bears out of the floodwaters. They're powerful swimmers.
It's like that meme of the meme of Vladimir Putin riding the bear, but there's just like a big flood behind you. It's like, oh. All right. Who wants to speak to someone first? Do you want to do Celadon and Rue first? And then
that seems like the logical first step. Yeah.
So I'm going to say that you clean
this
up.
is very
Obviously.
scary, by the way, because like the pack was easier to break it to. He knows everybody's got his back, and we're not going to snitch. talking to the grunt, bringing it to the outside slowly increases the chances that someone's gonna snitch, and then Gordongar's gonna be mad. Oh boy!
So you clean up, obviously, and you maybe
Yeah,
wait
lots
till
of blood.
later on that day.
I will
But
cook anything anybody does want to eat.
yeah, maybe also set aside some food for Celadon because that's not a bad icebreaker, right?
Yeah, hey Celadon, I made you a roast. A sandwich.
No, I was saying it's true. He shuts up with a sandwich.
It's a French
the
dip,
the,
right?
the answer, Chimerise, is yes.
Bro, I had my first French dip sandwich the other weekend.
Oh my God, they're so good. Yeah.
So
Oh,
good.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna pursue that opportunity as well. Then.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Keep that in mind, but also keep in mind that the best laid plans. All right, so you wait.
Something will go wrong.
You
for
wait
sure.
till you clean up, and you wait till Caledon hangs around the main hall a lot, so it's hard to kind of like separate him. But you watch him, and this time
He
of
definitely
year,
notices me watching him at
he
some
kind of
point.
he kind of wanders around a little bit and visits different people and like jokes around and tells stories outside the veil. Not outside the veil, I'm sorry, but outside of the hall. He visits around and tells stories. As a matter of fact, that was like one of the, if you remember when what was the guy's name? Dareston like disappeared with Israela. There were people who were like, oh, they ran off together because like Celadon was telling romantic stories. Was totally not the case, but like, the trickster gets blamed for shit. So so you see him like kind of leave the main hall, and he's setting off northwards towards like White Birch and the waterfalls to like perhaps visit some people, and has a little bit of a flask that he's drinking and kind of humming to himself as he walks.
Oh, booze is a great idea to give him. Can I get some mead from someone or something?
Guy garnered some mead. Let's see.
Excellent.
You know who has really
Oh
good
no,
beer?
some of Aranina's red beer. Yeah.
Get some beer from Aranina.
Like I just need some, for no reason.
She's just
Thank
like,
you.
you like it?
I
Hell
actually
yeah.
am a big fan of your beer. I just can't
Hell
have that
yeah.
much of it because
You know what? Here, and she gives you amphora of beer. Like you get a little like no, an amphora. I think is an amphora big? No, it's like a pitcher. Someone will correct me.
This is a whole ass pitcher. There's no Cabernet. I just walk up to Kelowna with an open pitcher of
You got like
Love it.
pottery and like.
So
Right.
the average normal height of an amphora is 18 inches.
So it's like it's like one of those like 3 foot beers. So that's what you get. You go there are places in
there
Germany where you can Yeah.
Oh,
There are
boy.
some smaller ones. Basically, they average 18 inches, but they have ranged from 12 inches to 5 feet.
you have the 18-inch variety.
That's
Of
the
beer.
Descara.
You have some red beer in an
Roll up
18-inch.
to Kelowna with 18 inches of
Hey.
beer.
of hard liquor.
So you'll catch up to him, and he's just kind of like walking and stumbling around, and you hear him. He's just singing to himself a little bit. Just oh, you cannot believe your eyes. Our voice could hypnotize. Promises are only lies.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, Kelowna. Doing all right. I was hoping you mind if I join you on your stroll.
yeah, sure. He kind of finishes his flask, and then he looks at the beer, and he's like, he doesn't know his beer yet, but he goes,
Rue will take a drink
Absolutely.
and offer it to him.
he's like, oh, this is Aranina stuff, huh?
Yeah.
You,
The strong even by your standards, right?
yeah, it's a little, that there's like blood in that, right? From men who
I turn into a wolf sometimes and
sleep
bite
with
men.
women who shouldn't. They shouldn't. So, anyway, beer's beer.
Fine, so.
What's I can't say that I have never done that. So,
I think you're safe.
so we're fucked, huh? It's okay. We are. I know we are. Life is just a joke. That's the thing, Ruin. You can
We're
live your
fucked, but we
life
don't
thinking
have
it's
to
a
be dead.
drama, or you can think of your life thinking it's a comedy. Me, I see the comedy. Because the gods, they laugh at us.
What about an epic?
I like an epic. I like an epic a lot.
Everybody likes a good story
Mhm.
about
Yvonne leading the
underdog
people
gods.
through the woods, leading the people through the snow and the great darkness. Yort fighting the battle of I fought, we won. Going all the way to the end of the world to learn the secret of the Star Heart. That's an epic.
How would you like to write a new one here in the Vale?
Well, that's the most precious thing that we could ever hope to do.
I have an idea.
Listening.
It involves a trick.
I'm really listening now.
I haven't talked to many people about you're the first person beyond my closest that I've spoken to.
It's a secret, too.
Hopefully not for long.
That's too bad, but go on.
Gordengar wants to stay and fight. And I get it. I do. I hate the Lunars. I love this place. I would defend it to my last if I thought it would be useful. But we both know that when the Lunars come, they're going to come with hundreds, just insurmountable odds, and they're going to come to make an example of us and this place.
He kind of just burps and then takes the beer from you again and drinks some more.
I can't let that happen. So, what if we draw them in and we drown them?
We live in the mountains.
Water flows downhill, Celadon, and he will point up the river and say, "There's a place up there in the foothills that you could build a dam that will fill with a lot of water. A lot of water that will come down very quickly if the dam is removed. And it will destroy everything.
Everything.
All the steads, the low-lying farmlands.
And
all of it.
everyone who's down there.
Hundreds of Lunars. We hope.
He just starts laughing. He like claps you on the shoulder, and he's surprisingly like strong for like a scrawny guy.
Jesus, he's got drunk person strength.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, you're big, so you don't move, but you're like, wow, that was like harder than I thought. But he goes, you're a clever one. The gods like that. True.
I hope so, because we are going to need their help if something like that will work.
Do you want to know a secret?
Seems a fair trade.
He looks all around. The gods love and are jealous of us for one thing and one thing only. Do you know what that is?
Our ability to change.
We can write our own epics, Ruin. Theirs are already written, but ours, well, ours can be whatever we want them to be. We only have so much time to write them, though. But this, I like this.
I thought you might.
All right.
It'll take magic.
I've
A
got
lot
some
of
of
it
that.
from people. And it will take convincing Gordengar.
Oh, well, listen, I know why you started with me.
Believe it or not, he listens to you sometimes.
I know. It's because I know things about him that he wouldn't want others to know, but
I think it's also because he loves you the way Orlanth loves her all.
Because
Oh,
of blackmail, you piece of shit.
She's just like, don't get all mushy on me now. Come on.
We need a little while to talk to some other people, but eventually, and I'll let you know when. We're going to bring it to Gordengar as a group.
Someone talking to Morganeth.
Yeah.
Good. Need to get her on the side too. Shouldn't be that hard. She thinks Gordagar and this whole stand your ground thing is, well,
Yeah. It's just like, I think that too. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Thank you. I trust you.
It's a little much, but I'll help you out here. Okay.
He'll leave the beer with Kelladon and sidle away. Like
He's
that
very
one was
happy
going to
with
be
the
the
beer.
easiest one. He knew. Like
He's
thought
very
that was-
happy with the beer, and he kind of stumbles off north up towards High Falls.
He knew he'd go for that. He's like, "This is hilarious. A valley full of dead lunars." Yep. He was expecting that reaction. Okay, that went about his plan.
What's next?
Well, you mentioned Morganeth, so I figure we'll cut to Arisa going
Sure.
to Morganeth.
I would say this could be the same day. Morganeth is in the weaving house.
Ooh.
Makes sense, since Arisa
With-
Arisa would know that.
With Liv and Ezrala, the main Ernala folk in the Vale. But they be weaving.
All right.
And just
So-
so you go in and you say, like, idiot men, their idiot pride.
They're just bitching about Gordengar when you walk in, and you're like, "Yes."
She does one of those comedic. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Yeah, this is Liv. No, dear, come on in. Now, those we were working on some more of those blankets, but we're not quite done.
No, I'd be happy to help, but I came to talk to you guys about something a bit serious.
Those who can see look at each other, and Morganeth doesn't have to look at anyone. She's just like, right, come on, sit down. She kind of pats a spot next to her,
Yeah,
and holds out her hand to you, and then
She'll
takes
take
your
your
hand.
and sit down.
Oh, so your hands are always so cold.
Well, being me plus being in winter doesn't
Ezra,
doesn't help.
get us some warm clear wine, please, for everyone. All right away, mother. Ezra kind of leaves. We have a few minutes to talk. I have a feeling what you wish to discuss will put, well, I may be blind, but I can tell that her and the big one are very much in love, and I don't want her getting upset.
Well, this is something that he is aware of as well.
I had a feeling you were plotting something.
Well, I wasn't the one who started it. And she just slowly turns
And
to
Liv kind of like looks like side eyes, and Morganeth doesn't see. Obviously, she always has a cloth over her face. The color of it depends on season. They're still wearing black. They're in mourning still, but she just doesn't. She's looking internally at Liv. You just know
She
it.
knows.
Yeah, you just and
She
Liv's
knows.
like, right. Well, my son has much of his grandmother and unfortunately a little bit of his father in him. Hopefully, only the good parts of his father. Don't remember
I
many
would
bad
say
parts
this is
of
an
his
example
grandmother.
of the good parts showing.
Go on.
Rue's been planning about our predicted upcoming invasion by the Lunars and trying to find a way to protect the Vale as much as possible. And we are all going out to try and talk to different people and hope to get people on our side with the plan, with the eventual goal of convincing Gordengar. He's going to be one of the later ones to hear about this. The plan is this. There is an area further up the hills that we can block off to make a large dam. Slowly, secretly, we move people out of the Vale. I know we had already sent some supplies and information to Israel's clan and slowly have people go somewhere safer. Children, non-combatants. But make it look to the Lunars like we're all still here.
It's easy enough. The net could never count as right when they took the taxes.
Exactly. And when they come, there's a fighting force up front, ready to defend the Vale, make it look exactly like the Lunars expect it to. And we pull them in, and as soon as we're able to, our people escape, the dam is broken, and floods take over the Vale, killing all the Lunars.
This is Ruin's plan.
Yes.
She actually does nod her head in Liv's direction and like smiles a lot at her. And she goes, "How much of Ivarn is in that boy?" Ivarn not being your grandma, but Ivarn being Hjort's wife, who like when Hjort was off doing like I'm an Orlanthe guy stuff, Ivarn had to like actually like keep the people alive and pull all these tricks on people. And there's one where they were in the snow and they had to like slide down a hill to get away from some trolls and stuff. And so like that's what she's referring to. Very well, Arissa. There is much good in the plan, but there is some problems. Because the land itself is not just land. Just as the dough run is not a dough run, it is not. We must seek permission of the spirits for that. But there is the issue of the riddle and Stag Hill. Riddle is where every woman who has ever been born, save for the ones where we were in exile, has gone to rest. And Stag Hill is where our founders lie. And then there is the whiter, the black stag, who is tied to this place. The stag is not the spirit of the people, it is the spirit of the Vale. Those issues must be overcome, because we cannot, floodwaters will recede, and we cannot leave the riddle and its secrets exposed to those who shouldn't be there.
I don't believe at all that the plan is to leave this place altogether. The plan is to protect this land as much as physically possible. I know Kymreese and I plan to try and commune with the spirits, and obviously any help that you may be able to provide in this regard would be extremely helpful.
The air ripples, and a wind seems to blow from outside the weaving shed, and then suddenly something's swimming in the air above you. Big fucking dragon.
Her hand on her back? Like, really?
And I don't think anyone's ever seen it outside of you guys. And
no,
yeah. So Liv is just like, and Morganeth doesn't move, but she can seriously. Well, I sense another presence.
We are about to have a visitor. He is a friend, an ally.
I am he who has bound himself to these warriors of your Val. I have lived here, not always by will, but longer, or as long as your people have, Lady Morganeth. I understand your concerns. And when the time comes, I will make sure that no one can defile the riddle or the hill. Well, lived long enough to hear a lot of strange things. You trust the spirit, Orissa?
I do.
And I trust your judgment, and I know you to be of impeccable, family. So I will trust you in that regard.
Thank
Hard to
you.
argue.
Thank you. Each of us is trying to talk to some people that we know would be of great assistance with this, and in time we will, hopefully shortly, present it to Gordongar, but we need as much help as possible.
I can most likely convince the Earth to dam the Doe Run, providing the Doe Run agrees.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. I don't want us all to die either.
There's too much here at stake.
Exactly.
Too much here to protect.
Oh, I'm back with clear wine. I got some bread too.
Oh, thank you.
Why is she drops everything because there's a dragon swimming in the air.
He's a friend.
Oh,
It's fine.
And he's just like, have no fear. Des told me about you, but I'm sorry, I'll get some more. And she just kind of
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, and the angel said, "Be not afraid," and the angel had a million eyes and giant wings. And, yeah.
You're like, bro, I'm shitting myself. Yeah.
Orissa's just like, stop scaring people.
It's like, I shouldn't do that. He goes back in his orb, and we'll call that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next?
Well, so I just posted a question in chat, but so do we still need Harvar, or are we doing this dam all with earth and rocks?
Talk to him anyway.
We'll need him for something, whether it's going to collapse rocks on the trails we're going.
So yeah, he's an influential dude. So
okay, build boats or something.
Yes.
Gotcha.
By the way, Catholic as fuck. Absolutely. Yes.
Harvar and Lonson. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'll go talk to Harvar.
You will talk to Lonson too.
I mean, I will talk to Lonson. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of conversation with Lonson. I'll just be like,
Lonson, I need you to help me with this plan. She'll be like, that's a good plan. Done.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go talk to Harvar first.
So there's like almost like a low stockade built up around the smithy. And there's the symbols of Gusbrand out front, the runes, and the fire. Just like the hearth fires are sacred to the person you saved when you did your thing, Mahome. Gusbrand, the god, is in that fire. That's what you believe as you're like making that stuff. So he's in there. It's actually a temple. So you hear some. It's very hot as you walk in there, and you hear him. He's sanding off like he had made a. He's made some tools in like a sand mold, and he's kind of like taking the bronze out of that. And just as you're walking in, actually, Afar is carrying in like some food.
Harvar.
And she's like, "Oh, Bryn, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you, dear?"
It's been a while. I'm good. I'm great.
You are just in time. I have some sweetbread.
Oh. Perfect. I can always eat. I will take sweetbread.
None of that apple stuff because I know we don't like it as much anymore, but this is just a very good sweetbread.
As long as it's not honey cakes, I will take it. Have you heard from Ven at all?
We haven't, dear. We haven't. I'm so sorry. But not it hasn't been that long, and I mean it's not that far to pay this, but he could have sent a message back. But Ven, he probably just got lost chasing after some black thing, fancy black armor or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we literally can't read the caption.
There's probably something dark and moody he wants to do there, and so he couldn't, write his mom and his dad, whatever.
Or his best friend, I get it. I get it.
Sorry, I was chasing a burb.
Ham
Ferb just flew away.
sandwich. No, chip
Yeah.
sandwich. Fuck. I'm tired.
Chip.
Just called it ham
Ham
sandwich.
sandwich. Ham chip, all the same. I'm afraid that this isn't just a pleasant visit. I have some business to talk about too.
Oh, all right, man stuff. Okay, fine. I see how it is. I will
But
be
I'll still take the sweetbread.
fine. Here you go.
Oh no, you can stay. We can eat and talk. I can do both, sort of.
I don't want to get involved. I'll just be in my home.
Okay,
Come and say goodbye, though.
I will.
Cool. So, what can I do for you?
Well, Rue has a plan.
He's like he's like 2.5 times your size, by the way. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
Go
okay.
on.
Well,
Yeah.
Rue has a plan. Do you have like a clear space that I can show you? Like I have a
He moves some like stuff off like a bench.
perfect. So I'll unroll and show Rue's hide that I took with me. So Rue has a plan to deal with these lunar fucks, and we are just going to kill them all, and we will give our home a chance to fight back with us. But I think we need your help.
That's good because Gorhagar's plan is just to like fight with honor. And look, I'm all about that, but
This gives
Fuck
us a
these-
chance to do both. This gives us a
Right.
chance to do both. This gives us a chance to possibly get away, our home to fight too, and for us to fight a little bit with honor too. And give,
Alright.
those lunars a run for their money.
I'm listening.
So he wants to build this thing, this dam that will hold back the river long enough. It needs to break at the right time. We need some sort of like structure or scaffold to kind of hold. I think we're getting spirits involved. I think the earth goddesses will be helping too. But we need some sort of structure to build here for the dam.
So like a did you talk to Morganeth?
I think one of us is.
All right. Because, I mean, it's a
Two of
lot of
us.
digging. It'll be a lot of digging and moving of earth. I mean, she could probably do a lot of that on her own. But we can build it in such a way
this is-
that if I can maybe put some supports that we can just kind of knock out or have a spirit knockout, that would be a real quick way of just making it end.
So this is possible. You think we can do it?
Absolutely. He knows what he's doing. He was trained by dwarfs, you know. I wasn't really trained. I thought you were going inside. Really?
You should know. Someone's always listening. I think this plan is supposed to be on the down low until we can get Gordinger to say yes. But like maybe
Did you hear
start.
that part? Yes.
Maybe start designing and building now.
Well, I wouldn't just plug
Designing
up
at least. Maybe
the
not
deer
building it.
run without her permission. So I can start coming up with some ideas, though.
Okay. Is
All
there
right.
anything that you need from us?
Probably need some wood and things like that, but nothing I can't get from people in town.
Okay. Don't
Probably
forget,
just
we're going
wood.
to kill those lunar fucks.
Yeah, well, that's just the
For the
plus,
veil.
isn't it?
It always is.
The hundreds of dead lunars bobbing in the floodplain is Bryn's favorite part.
All right. Yeah, I'll sounds good to me.
Okay.
So
Now
I'm in.
eat.
I love how easy so many of these people have been like, yeah, that plan sounds rad. We don't all want to die. Gordinger wants to die. Like,
I mean,
Who
We
pointed?
should-
Yeah, Raz Fox in chat said it's when I was talking to Morgan, exactly like an Earth priestess to start critiquing the plan seriously. Like she was immediately like, "Yes, but we gotta figure this out." I'm like,
here are the details that we need to make sure we cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan, my girl.
Great. I'm going to sit down and eat some honey rolls now. My part's done.
Who we got? So we got Lonson and Aranina, I think, left. Really, right? That's about it.
And
Oh,
Savin.
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 And the
Savin.
spirits, if you want to do the spirits now or next session, I don't know.
We
But spirits.
can probably. I'm going to try to get all this done tonight. All right. You want to do Savin, Kymries?
Yeah.
Right.
So where do I find Savin?
Savin, I think you will find walking his way to the path that leads up the mountain to where the Royals Grove is, to that meditation place where you always go, that place that like hangs over the cliff overlooking the whole vale. He's kind of walking there,
Gotcha.
like head down, hands behind his back, very lost in thought.
I will just quietly walk behind him until I can catch up to him.
And he doesn't like acknowledge you for a while. And then eventually he's just like,
Okay.
It's good to walk together again, isn't it?
I smile and I say, indeed, it is. And I just keep walking with him for a while.
Something's on
I
your
feel
mind.
like, yeah, after we walk for however long before he asks that, I say, do you know the story of how the water and the earth came to be?
You mean why
I'm
rivers?
super putting you on the spot, by the way, Christian.
Why
I
rivers?
apologize
No,
if you
no, no,
don't
no.
know the lore.
Do you mean why the earth floats upon the water, or why water flows downhill? What do you mean?
Well, there was a time when there was nothing but darkness, right?
Correct.
And then water came into being.
Correct.
And from there, earth came as well.
Indeed.
Can you talk to me about how that happened?
Ernalda's mother rides upon Zaramakos, who is the water. So they mated, and that is how the water fertilizes the earth. And then, later on, during the Storm Age, the waters invaded the earth. And that is where rivers came from. Those waters flew uphill. They were trying to drown the earth. Waters ran uphill. But at the moment when the forces of chaos destroyed the spike, a hole was created in the world. And everything was being sucked into it. The world was in danger of being destroyed. And the gods of water called to all the spirits of water throughout all the lands. Many gods of water sacrificed themselves in that hole. And Magasta called them all to himself. And the waters began to flow downhill to fill the hole. And so in the center of the world, there is a great whirlpool. That is the hole that was just created by chaos when the spike was destroyed. But the waters of the world fill it. And rivers flow downhill to heed the call of Magasta and plug that hole.
Side note, fucking great job, Christian. But
Thank you.
Kymries is just listening intently during this whole conversation, and he looks at Savin and he says, I think there's a way that we can save our people from the Lunars, but I think it means sacrificing a lot.
Most of the time, that is the case.
I had a vision a while back where I was standing amid our village in the center, and there were rivers of blood flowing all around me. And in these rivers, I saw the faces of my friends. I saw the people I loved, and they were all dead. And I was standing in this river as it was washing over me.
Visions don't always literally mean what you may think they would do.
Precisely. And I smiled. And I said, I think the vision meant something else. I think maybe I was off just a little in how I saw it or how I interpreted it. And I think now it makes sense. And I look at Saban and I stop walking and I say,
He stops too, obviously.
I say, Saban, you have been the greatest mentor that I could ever have asked for. You have taught me how to not only see, but how to speak with, how to interact, how to be seen by this world that is both outside of ours and also a part of it. And for that, I am ever grateful. And I
My
say,
boy, I set your feet on a path you would have walked anyway.
there's a request that I need to make of the spirits. And before I bring it to them, I figured I would come to you first and see if you had any guidance or wisdom.
Okay.
When the lunars come, which they will,
They
will be far more than what we defend against. Even with our mightiest warriors, even with the very winds of Orlanth at our back, I just don't think it's possible. This vale sits low, and there is a river.
The Doe Run,
Yes,
wife of the Black Stag.
the very life of the Black Stag.
She's the wife of the Black Stag.
Sorry, the very
But-
wife of the Black
Wife,
Stag.
yes. And
I when they come in full force, we can drop the river into the vale, and it will wash away everyone. It will wash away all of the lunars. It will wash away our homes. It will bury the veil, the places that we hold dear, the things that are sacred. But it just might work. If we dam the river and collapse it when the lunars come.
the waters of the Doe Run are the first waters that wash every Harborn after they were born. The waters of the Doe Run are the last waters that wash every Harborn as they are prepared to go on, and their body returns to the earth.
Quick question, Christian.
Yep,
Was I ever washed in those waters
absolutely.
when I was born dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yours was both the first and last time, technically, when you were washed once.
Mhm.
The waters of the Doe Run are the blood of the Harborn. So you see, if you saw people drowning in rivers of Harborn blood, well, visions are not always immediately what they look like when we first have them.
I understand.
I will help you talk to the Doe Run.
Thank you, Saban. And I hug him, which is very uncharacteristic of me. He's not somebody I would really
He's
hug.
he's not a huggy guy, and he's kind of like, oh, we're going to be, okay. And then he kind of like, gives you that hug. He's like, we're really doing
I love
this.
it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. This is not awkward at all. Okay.
Perfect.
Who wants to do Lonson?
I mean, I'll do Lonson.
Yeah. Okay.
Do Lonson.
Lonson is easy to find because she's usually either guarding at the hall or like practicing somewhere or like going to her home, which is not very far from the hall.
Yeah, I'll go looking for her. I'll start at the hall. That's usually, I think, where I find her.
Yeah, she's
If not, the practice comes next. I'll do her home.
You find her practicing throwing her javelins at targets.
Cool. I'll see if I can try one.
Oh, sure. And she gives it to you. You really just want to, it's just like a lighter spear. So you just have to, you can actually put a lot more into it.
Yeah, I'll try to throw one. Try and get
Okay.
there.
Roll your job skill. Let's see how you do if you want to.
Oh, I'm actually rolling. Okay.
Go for it. What the hell? Yeah.
16. That is a success.
So they have like straw like men set up, and you're just like boom right in the chest.
Winners. I've been practicing too.
I can see that. Good. We're gonna need it.
Thank you. I think everyone knows by now that the Lunars are coming, and sooner than we thought.
Yeah.
Which is why I need your help with something. I have a request. So Rue has a plan for when the Lunars come.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a chance for maybe more of us to survive than maybe even everyone, but probably not. But I think more than if we were to fight them head on.
Okay. What's the plan?
When the Lunars come, I think the plan is before they come to build a giant dam at the end to stop the river. And when the Lunars get here, we draw them into the Vale and release the dam.
Just like what the Thunder Sister would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Gordingar is pretty committed to staying. And I understand. I'm with him. I would die to protect this Vale. I would die to stay here.
Gordingar. He also hates Kangirl. And that is a big part of it. But if we show him a way that satisfies his honor and still protects everyone, he's not a fool.
This will be a win for us. I hope.
I will, I'll fight regardless to the end.
I know you will.
But
so will I.
I will help talk to Gordingar with you.
Thank you, Lonson. Again.
She gives you like not a hug, but like the clasp that warriors give each other.
Yeah.
Now come on, you practice some more.
So much more nervous wracking talking to Lonson.
I think there's just Aranina.
I will talk to Aranina. I did recommend that Kent talk to Krenstar if he wants to. The Scar. We did just help with the runaway wife, so. But I'll do Aranina first.
Do you want to do that?
Over.
Yeah.
You slide her a roast beef sandwich and be like, "Kill the Lunars with water." She's like,
"Drown the Lunars." Have you seen the new avocados from Mexico commercials?
No.
Oh God, they're really good. And that just reminded me of it. Basically, like there's like a disaster or something going on, like they're benching a player from like a football game, but they like do it in the jingle from the avocados from Mexico, and they're like, "Did you just bench me with the avocados from Mexico jingle?" And they're like, "Yeah, avocados make everything better." It's like drown the Lunars with the flood. It's very funny. But one of them, like, they busted like a water main at this woman's house, and they're like, "We've accidentally busted the water main," like the construction guys, and there's just like fountaining water. And she's like, "Ooh, guac!" Like they're great.
Amazing. Guac does indeed make everything better.
Sponsor us, avocados from Mexico.
Totally how. That's how Caledon sells it to Gordon.
Sorry, I just watched the commercial. It's really funny.
Send it, Sarah. Send it to me. Well, just message me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in chat. Also, Christian, I sent you a fucking message in Zoom chat.
Hold on.
I'm also gonna shamelessly send this in our chat because mod powers let me send links without Twitch getting mad at me.
Yes, I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah.
Arissa.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to timeline. Cool.
Yep. Thank you. All right.
right.
So, Erenina, yeah, let's
Yep.
kind of
Rue
make
is
these
just
quicker.
gonna stroll next door to his neighbor's house,
She's
knock on the
sharpening
door.
her Orlanthi great axe, just
Excellent.
like shing, shing, shing.
Hey,
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, scrub?
can I show you
Shing.
something?
What?
It's important.
Oh, okay. Puts the axe down.
And he's just gonna take her over to his place where he just has the map out on the table, and he's just gonna show her the map, be quiet for a second, and be like, "I think it'll work."
Punches you
Okay,
like on the shoulder, and you're just like, oh,
it'll definitely work if you're on the field where the lunars.
yeah. You listen. I'll This is about. Yeah, we'll make sure that the old asshole does the right thing. Gordo, this is the thing you got to understand about Gordo. Gordo, he's good. He really cares about everyone, but he's also got that whole pride thing. That's why he's a good chief. But sometimes you just kind of like go around it. You know, he's a man. No offense. But you have to just kind of like, you got to let him have their little pride. But then you got to step in and be like, listen, Gordo, this is how we do it.
I think a part of him knows that, and that's why he has good people like you. And
We
the
just got to
others.
give him. We just got to give him a way and an excuse that it makes it look like we still did the right thing, but it kind of protects that little ego of his.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a man thing. Sorry, no offense.
I mean, I came up with this plan, so I'm not
Yeah.
offended.
No, I'm just saying. Like you don't seem like you have that. I haven't noticed that with you, but
Maybe
guy
it's a
thing.
wolf thing.
Maybe.
Erenina, I'm glad I'm your neighbor.
I wasn't too happy when you first came in because I like to be alone up here, but just worked out.
I'm even more glad I'm your friend.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
No, I'm
yep,
just kidding.
but- yep.
I'm just kidding. And he just like, she just grabs you and like totally like bear hugs you. And you're like,
skinny little back. It's like, you're so skinny. You have to put on some meat for this to work. He's like, I'm not skinny. That was easy. Knew that one would be good.
Woman.
I love her, Nina, so much.
Gordo. She just calls him Gordo. I'm
Gordo.
like, yes.
I love
Erenina has like somehow scarier Gideon Nav energy, and I'm here for it.
I love how I constantly get threatened of like if anything ever happens to Erenina, like my life is like forfeit, I think, from
she's
like at least 5 or
the
6 people.
She's
Yeah.
the universe's favorite NPC.
Nope.
I would fist fight you if something happened to Erenina, and I don't think she said a single word to Arissa once.
It's like
I have
Erenina and the animals. Like,
Yeah, those are the. I get emails about don't let anything happen to the animal companions, and I get like threats, just open threats about anything happening to Erenina. And like, rest assured, everyone, I'm pretty kind actually as a DM. So especially when it comes to my favorite,
one of those will die.
right? Only Orc.
And if you teach your bulls how
Okay,
to
we killed
be
one elk
combatant,
today, okay?
I'm just kidding,
they
Bryn.
will not die. They will be invincible. They will destroy the lunars.
That just Kara's fucking bulls out on the
I call it a bulldozer.
Armored
Makes the
Lorenzo
lunars
thing?
look like one cow, and then we just unleash them.
Just kind of come
Greatest
out.
weapon.
They're like, oh, just trampled to fucking
Yeah,
death
The
Do you
by
very
all
wanna
these
do
horny
Karen
bulls.
Star?
starts shaking.
Uh,
They're like,
Des?
ah!
Yeah, I can do that.
You find him polishing his bronze armor.
I guess Des will he'll stroll up to Karen Star there. And he'll just take a seat nearby.
He looks at you and because he's doing this outside of his home. Just kind of sitting outside. It's it's still cool, but you get cooped up hanging out in little huts like all winter. So people sit outside even though it's a little cold.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what's going on, big guy?
They're me and my group have been going around and talking to the prominent people of the Vale, of the clan right now.
So why are you talking to me?
Because we're going to need your sword in the time to come.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
But Rue has a plan that we all think is going to work. But we need help convincing Gordon Gar.
Okay. What's the plan? We could just say you tell him the plan.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Plan. Well, I like it better than just fighting and dying.
Bryn is like, "Boo."
So it's worth a try. And it's not that he hasn't had sort of similar plans. I mean, he is thinking about getting people out, but I like this. Yeah, you know what? This is a good plan. I'll when it's time to talk to him, I'll weigh in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you too.
I'm always here to help anyone in the clan.
I know you are.
You're like, so and so is single, and then you just like walk away.
Thanks, man. Oh, thanks, man. Hey, yes. You're a good kid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're a good kid, bud.
Yeah, and you are bigger than him.
Yep.
But
There's only
he's a
one
little
person in the Vale
meaner.
bigger than Daskar, and that is Barath.
Yeah. No, actually, it would be Havar is about the same size. Those are the two biggest
damn.
people in the Vale. Yeah. You're pretty much both the same size. No.
And Deskara's 7-year-old sibling is getting close.
Right. Okay, so that is everyone, I think.
We got the circle.
Yeah.
Main
Circle
ones
plus.
we needed.
I
Or
just
is
realized
there-
this is one of the last times I'll be practicing with.
Did we just lose Jess? Yeah, she just
little
froze.
bit.
Little.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's back.
I'm back.
Oh.
I was saying I just realized this is one of the last times I'll be practicing with Lonson, like ever.
Oh,
Maybe.
I mean,
We still have to do
maybe not.
sacred time, but
Yeah. So, is there anyone else that needs to be talked to, or do you want to just go to sacred time?
I think that's everyone.
at some point I'm going to talk to the Telmori, but you tell me when is a good time for that. So
Let's start sacred time first, and then we'll get to that. So
we've got a ducks in a row.
your ducks are in a row. How very Runequest.
And the geese are ready.
The geese are ready.
Also, the other thing I mentioned to you in chat, Christian, about the people that I would like to talk to, that might take me some time to do that.
I missed that one. Hold on a minute.
The
Going back. Hold on. Just do you mind sending?
Is Colette the
Kolat.
Hulk Hogan?
Kolat is a spirit. You
okay.
know that was
Yes.
so the way you would do the thing you asked would be by summoning an elemental.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah. So you don't need to talk to anyone in particular for that.
Perfect. All right. All right.
YOLO Swaggins will handle that for you.
YOLO.
Yes. So sacred time comes, and The world is almost everything is laid aside. People stop working. This is the most sacred time of the year. It is a time where the rebirth of the world is celebrated, and everybody across the world participates in these rituals because it's believed that if you don't, the world will not come back. So it starts with Morganeth, led by Liv, and Gordengar goes with them too. And they go throughout the whole Vale, and they delineate the borders of Utula. The Tula is the clan land. They just walk that whole area, blessing and praying, both the Orlanth and Ronaldo, the whole way around. And then they begin down in the main hall, the area outside the hall where there's kind of like the picnic ground area where everybody kind of gathers. People start bringing out their little household gods. Statues of Ronaldo and all the goddesses are brought out of the riddle. Orlanth statues are brought out of the hall. They're brought out there, and a sacred place is begun. And people call upon all the gods, good gods, bad gods, all of the gods, all of the spirits, call upon their ancestors. Animals are sacrificed that are appropriate to every god there, and they're cooked for meat. The blood is taken from those animals, and they have whisks, and they go throughout the whole Vale. This is over the course of like 3 days, and they anoint everything with the whisks of the blood. Everything, all your tools, your weapons, your people, everything, your possessions, right? Yep, everything. There are pits in the ground that the remaining blood is actually poured into so it can go down to the underworld and reach your ancestors so they can participate in the feast as well. And so for the first 3 days, that is it's a blood sacrifice day. On the third day, the last sacrifice is actually Jorganeth. Jorganeth slices his own blood, cuts himself, puts his own blood in a circle around the sacred place that has been raised, and then he wears full armor and weapons and he guards it for the rest of the ceremony. And occasionally warriors will stand with him, but it's Humacht and Humacht worshippers who will guard that. And he stands there for the rest of the 14 days without resting. Well, the rest of the 11 days. It's 14-day ceremony. No, Ben might have been doing that if you were still here. How do you feel about that?
I'm honestly a little bitter that he's not here fighting for our home with us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But I hope he's well.
So by the third day, though, that energy is like, it's palpable. You can feel it. If you leave that sacred place and walk out of it, it's like walking outside and leaving behind a warm fire into a cold, cold night. And you walk back in, it's like coming back in. You can feel this energy. And not only are people out there celebrating, but you see spirits. You see your ancestors like force ghosts. You see ghost deer just come down out of the woods and walk amongst you guys because they are parts of the clan. They're sacred to you. The royal will show up and walk through occasionally through the area. The royal is the sacred stag. That is the incarnation of the black stag. And that space is believed that it's between the worlds now, and it's between time. And on the fourth day, Morganeth, Gordengar, Kellyan, Grandma Whitebark, somebody they randomly selected to stand in for Osiris because the trader is not around. Someone they selected to stand in for Fleshman, and someone who wears a hood who stands in for Jinnajar, and Jody Whiteheart set off to recreate a Lightbringer's quest. And that is a very somber day. There's a lot of very very sad dances and songs and praying that day because it is the darkest time and it's a mournful time. And they set off. And on the fifth day, you're all left alone, basically. And the calling and the prayers on those days are calling to any god and any spirit that will help you guys, because there's the darkness and is the cold. And the weather is even reflected in that. The sun doesn't seem to shine as bright that day. The clouds seem very dark and gray. It never seems to get light. It never seems to get dark. It's just a day in between life and death. And that day mostly is spent once you've done the rituals and telling stories of Hjort and Ivarn, and how Ivarn helped the people survive the great darkness, and how Hjort went on his journey to the end of the world to find the secret of the Star Heart, and fought, and I fought, we won battle. In between all these times, people visit with their friends, and they talk, and you see your ancestors. Bryn, you are participating, or you just finished participating in a ritual, particularly the beginning of the Lightbringers one. And suddenly you feel as if people are watching you. And you see, at the edge of the ritual space, Harwin and Varala, your parents. Glowing a little bit because they're spirits. Like I'm picturing like Anakin and the Force ghosts
Yeah.
in the Ewok
Force
villages.
ghosts.
Yeah, is exactly what I picture. But they're kind of looking at you, smiling.
Bryn will smile back a little and she'll nod to them.
Your mother gestures you over.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay.
You have to talk to them.
I
This was
will
not prepared.
walk
Yep.
over.
We have watched you, daughter. We see the path you start to take. We are proud.
I figured you would be.
But your father speaks up. But we worry as well.
About?
We do not love the spear because it is sharp. We don't love the arrow because it flies straight. We love them for what they defend. You have much to fight for, daughter. And you have a lot of fighting ahead of you. But do it for the right reasons.
I always do it for the right reasons.
That is what I hope for you.
I know. I remember what your sacrifices were for.
We watch and we wait in the halls of Orlanth for you. But you have a long time before we will see you there.
I hope so. I will see you both soon. Or not
Be
soon.
strong. We will be with you when you need us. Be strong. And they just kind of fade away. The sixth day. Oh, I forgot one. No, I didn't. I'm sorry. The sixth day is dedicated to Asaris, who bears the messages from the people to the gods, just as he bears trade and information around in the world. And it's particular that day that if people have like a private prayer they want to pray, they'll pray that prayer at the temples, at the sacred area, because the gods are listening more closely that day. Anyone have any particular prayers they want to make?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit of a weird one, but Arissa goes somewhere very quiet and very private. And you said during this time people kind of pray to God's good and evil, right?
Mhm.
So Arissa very quietly reaches out to Malia
Okay.
to try and offer her the compassion that she never got in life. And to tell her that she's trying to not be ashamed of that part of her anymore. Because she knows what it's like to be on the outside of things.
it's like a strange throb of something, an emotion that you can't quite. It's an emotional experience, but you can't quite entirely name that full emotion. But it's a very emotional experience. You know that somehow that reached the place that it was supposed to reach, and there was a response.
Yeah.
There was a response to it, and in doing it, even though you were away and you were somewhere very private, you feel again, you feel eyes on you. And when you look, you see your parents looking healthy and well, kind of standing off in the distance from you. And you get a,
She reaches up into the air and grabs it. The blood, and just holds it there.
also, in one of those days I had forgotten, but they honor Shalana Oroy. This is after the sacrifice by not killing anything for a couple days, and nobody eats any meat or anything like that. Right. That's actually coming up. I'm sorry. No, I didn't screw it up. It's not coming up. The next day after that, Hjort is honored. He's honored for going on his battle. He's honored for the I Fought We Won. And the I Fought We Won is actually reenacted. And people can elect to fight if they wish, because there's going to be a ritual performed called the Summons of Evil. And they bring out like a wicker man, and they place it in the middle of this circle. It's not like a big wicker man like the movie where it's like 20 feet tall.
Like I'm in.
Yeah, they're not going to lock anyone in and burn it. This is like a man-sized wicker man. But Savan calls forth any warriors who want to fight. You see Dareston steps forward with his shield and a spear. And Often, who you don't remember Often, he was from the very beginning. He was one of the guys who went on the male initiation with you. He's the guy who was, his son was, his dad got the shit kicked out of him by Aranina. You do also see Fedor, who kind of is like
trying to look small.
He kind of like steps back, right?
It's not me.
Fade away.
Fades away. Fedor fades away. But anyone else who wants to step in can, if they wish.
Oh yeah, I want to fight alongside Dearson.
Okay. All right.
Dude,
Am I fighting along with
Kyrie's
him
is
or
all about it
against him?
too.
Reese is going to jump in? Okay.
Once two of the pack jump in, Rue will jump in too. It's not going to fight with the pack.
let's
man.
go.
So are you going to make it go all the way,
Yeah.
Des? All right, fine. Cool.
And Arissa's like, I will clap for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sees all her friends
those-
go in, and she's on the sidelines like, "Yay, that's my besties!"
For those
Steven?
of you that haven't seen this since the very beginning, Kyrie's fights like a rabid animal. He bites things and stabs them and claws at them. Much like Rue, except way less successful.
Very less effective. So everybody sees you guys, and you guys have developed like a little bit of a rep in the Vale by now, and they're all kind of like clapping for you. And Savan performs a ritual. Now,
We fucking popular. We're fucking popular.
this is a very important ritual because people can die in this. Like the Summons of Evil, this isn't like, we're going to
It's like,
stab
oh
the wood
shit,
and
never
die.
mind.
Like something will show up, and you're going to have to fight it. And if you fail, that's like bad for all sorts of
There's
reasons.
4 of us to go for the leg. We've got this.
Right.
Yeah, right leg fucked.
So Savan begins to circle this Wicca.
It's a giant
This-
snake, and we're like, I don't know what to do.
Like, we can't hit it. We only hit the legs. He begins to circle this Wicker Man, and he begins to chant in Storm Speech. And Bryn, you've started to know enough about Storm Speech that he's basically like, he's talking a bunch of shit. He's just like, who's going to come and face us? You all losers. Basically like he's calling something out, basically. Like, come and get us, come and fight us, you cowards. You got nothing. And eventually...
You ain't shit.
Yep, exactly. Basically calling it, you ain't shit. And you see this Wicker Man start to glow and kind of shift a little bit and move. And it's glowing with this strange reddish inner light. And all of a sudden that light kind of splits out of the Wicker Man, and the Wicker Man kind of like disintegrates, and this red misty being kind of swirls out of it. and it swirls, and you all know that you're in this circle now that he's created, and you're not getting out of it. This thing's stuck in there with you, and it's swirling around you. Kymese, you know enough about spirits. This is a loon, which is a lunar elemental.
Oh, we're just pre-gaming now.
Go! Stab the fuck out of it.
And everybody's kind of like, because like loons are kind of big deals. And it's going at you guys. So let's go right into combat here. And has more of an area effect. So what is everyone doing? And what are they doing on what strike rank?
How big is the circle?
I'm going to say it's a radius of 30 meters. It's pretty big.
Do I shoot it first or do I stab it?
So I'm throwing my spear, which I believe is strike rank 2.
So it should be your dex.
Yeah.
You're throwing it?
Yes, throwing it.
Did you have it prepared? If you had it prepared, then yeah, it would be just yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm using
I'm just using it as like a walking stick these days. I just always have it with me.
Very appropriate.
Yeah.
I've got my dagger, which is strike
Thank
rank 4.
You can also cast spells at it, bro.
Ooh, I should also do so.
What's the spell strength rank is like a 9, right? It's like really shitty. Or
no, so it's the spell strike rank is the rune magic takes effect right away. You just can't cast any other spells that round. Spirit magic is the amount of magic points you're spending plus your dex rank.
Okay.
I think I said that right.
When do magic points refresh again?
You have them back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is reasonable to suspect we will have them back in time to kill Lunars weeks from now.
Oh, yeah. By the
Okay.
next day, you'll have all of them back.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
Your rune magic doesn't come back. You have to regain
Also,
that.
for anyone that does spells, because we always forget this reminder from Sartar
We have to
roll
cast
for
them,
successful
yeah.
We gotta roll 'em.
casting.
Yep,
Cast them,
yep.
that's right.
I'm not part of this, so I just get to judge you all.
I'm gonna send you a private message, Kristen.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to cast strength and then attack with my broadsword.
Nice.
I'm gonna not open with ranged.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my spear and then also draw my axe later. I don't know what drawing.
So you can throw it, and drawing the weapon is 5. So then you'll be ready for next round to do stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. What do you got, Des?
I am also going to cast strength and go at it with my battle axe.
Okay. So that gives you strength is how many points, magic points is strength? 2. So that's 2. So that's 2 strike rank, and then to attack is, I think you're at 6, so that puts you at 8 for the attack.
My strike rank is 2.
Plus your weapon.
That plus
plus the
the
broadsword.
weapon has its own.
Yeah.
All I wrote down next to broadsword is 2.
Hold on. So that might be the strike rank for the broadsword. So it would be your dex.
So it'd be your dex and
so it's your dex and size strike rank plus the broadsword thing. So plus 2.
Okay, so that's 4 total.
Okay.
We do have to roll
6.
for successful casting of spells, by the way.
Yes. So
Yes.
roll your spells, guys. Do that first to see if they even go. Yeah.
I am gonna cast protection on myself.
Okay.
And then go at it with a dagger. Unless
What are we
control
rolling
entity is
against?
something
As
I
I
could
have
use.
never rolled for a spell in my life.
Power times 5.
Power times 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
You're good.
Yeah.
Christian, control entity is not something I could use on this, correct?
I made it by 2 points.
Hell yeah. All right. Your protection pops off. Or your strength.
These
You
get
cast
degrees.
strength. Yeah.
Just made it.
C's get degrees, baby.
Not protection, strength.
Strength. Yeah. Yeah.
Good on my protection.
Okay. Everybody's
Ken,
good.
tell me what strength does in the chat real quick. I can't find my book.
Type what I'm going
Basically,
through it right now.
you go up 1 damage. So if you did like 1d6 damage,
It also
goes
gives you
up.
an increase to certain skills and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going through that right now.
Okay. Ken will message me. Ken's a bro.
And protection 3
Real
points
and
is
fake.
what I can use max.
That's
So
just
that is
armor,
essentially 3 points of armor. Yeah.
My
That's
brother's
armor.
always protecting me. Got you.
And then I have my fucking dagger, bro. Let's go.
Hey, you killed an ogre. Why not a loon?
I did. Yeah. Yeah. Discar's like Slayer of Ogres. I was just like, bitch,
You
You
please.
took
an
Conqueror
ogre
of Death.
Okay.
I did both.
Conqueror of Death and Deather of Ogres.
Just looking something
Unaliver
up
of
here.
Ogres.
Bear with me here.
Liver
15.
of Ogres.
Christian, the bear is not with you. The bear's with Kent. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hmm.
10 says, "Oh, okay. So this guy can engulf all you. All right. So why don't we do any attacks first, and then it's going to do its thing."
Oh shit.
So I don't care about attack strengths. Just go do roll your things. We'll figure it out. Just figure out so roll to hit. Who wants to go first? Doesn't really matter to me.
I'll go as soon as Kent tells me what my modifiers
All
are.
right, so Bryn, why don't we do yours first? Because you don't need a
Bryn first.
modifier. Yeah.
I succeeded. I got a 12 out of 72.
So is that a special?
I don't think so. 72 divided by 5?
That's a special.
It's 14,
right?
so it is a special.
Yeah,
So you're gonna impale. So that is good. That's good. All right. So impaling on the spear means you double its
right
damage.
leg.
Hold on.
Well done.
You don't need to
Oh,
roll hit locations
okay.
with this thing. It's an
Okay.
elemental.
I'm gonna do like
It's
one of
all
those
leg, bro.
Olympic javelin throws, but with a spear.
A special attack does special damage. Impale. Where does impale? Come on, I'm looking at okay, impale. Double normal damage. So roll your weapon, roll the spear damage, and double it.
I don't do a whole lot. Okay. I rolled a 1, so 2. Plus,
right.
I think. Oh, this is range, right? So it doesn't do that. Yeah. So just 2.
Just two.
You have a strength bonus though, right?
I do not.
Yeah. So just
Oh,
2.
I do, but that usually just is for melee, right?
When you throw something, you can do half of it.
It's 1. So what is half? Does it round down half of 1?
Your strength bonus should be like 1 plus 1d4 or something, right? Your damage
No.
bonus.
Oh, then I have none. I have none.
All right,
then.
so you just do 2 points of damage. All right, you chuck the spear and it goes kind of through its body, but it seems inconvenienced by it. Kymreese, you
Yeah, daggers. Let's go, bitch.
Kent,
Yeah,
what
go
page
for
is
it.
it on?
So weak.
I'm gonna roll on stream with my app.
+5 to attack skills. Go.
Damn it!
Good.
I have
All
a
right.
30.
okay. You try to stab ineffectively at it, but it's kind of swirling around you.
Perfect. That's all I got.
That's what you get, Amber.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna hit with my broadsword.
Okay.
Or miss. I am not as good at melee as I am at range. Oh, I hit it. Thank you, strength spell. Just barely. Regular success. Hit location. Does it have hit locations?
Don't worry about hit locations. It's
Okay.
it's the big spirit. Yeah. It's not as corporeal as a human or an animal, so it doesn't really matter as much.
Let's go broadsword. 10 points of damage.
Hell yeah. All right. Okay. Kent, go for it.
All right.
Oh, damage.
Was Bryn looking? Was Bryn looking?
Yes.
That's up to Bryn. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
This is gonna have to go to Reese after did Bryn see me?
All right. Des is going to take a swing at it with his battle axe.
Oof, upgraded.
Ooh, that is a 47
Okay.
out of
And then its turn is just
77.
gonna wreck us all. Was Bryn watching? Just fucking dead.
Orissa just comes by and just starts dropping heroin on us. Just
Just three
rejuvenating us.
handfuls of cocaine. Get back up.
And damage. I got to do damage. Where's my dice?
a shitload of damage because you got a strength spell on you too, right? So you're probably
Yep.
up to like 2d6 damage bonus.
Yeah.
I just
Dang.
missed the 2d6 bonus.
No.
Ah,
Yeah,
a
you just
little
missed it.
low.
So that
I need
is
to do a few more push-ups.
10 points of damage.
Looking good. All right, I'm gonna let the other dudes. Let's see how they do. And I'm gonna say Dareston. Nope.
There's a nope,
And
but he tried. He got a lot of heart.
he tried. He had a lot of heart. And you know, all
Dude,
right.
it's a good thing we stepped in. Those 3 would have been massacred without our.
It was
help.
only 2. It was Dareston and Offen.
Oh, what I thought you said.
Fedor did not do this.
Oh,
Oh my god, it's almost like our initiation minus Ben.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
but
boys
plus
are back
Bryn.
together. Plus
The
Bryn,
boys
who
are
really
back
wanted
together.
to go to
Okay.
that.
boys are back.
Right. So
Bryn, who was a little offended she wasn't kidnapped in the middle of the night with the boys.
she was. That's so funny.
Bryn's like, yo, what the fuck?
I think I'm still
Man.
more salty about not being able to do that pig wrestling thing.
She's like, I want to wrestle the pig.
So you guys, you this thing is like swirling all around, and it's very fast. It kind of spins around you as it goes by you. You know, Des, you manage to get a chop out of it. Rue, you manage to get a chop out. Bryn, you manage to chuck your dagger, your spear. I'm sorry, and wound it. Kymese, you try to like do your badger routine on it, but it's not as solid as
It
you want it
looks
to
really
be.
scary to everybody else on the outside.
But everyone's like,
They're
wow, he's so fierce. You see Dareston like tries to get at it with a spear, but he doesn't manage to do it. But often nicks it a little bit. He does indeed. Now, as this thing is spinning all
get
around you
fucking
guys,
throttled.
I need you all to roll your power against its power.
Okay.
Do we check
So-
power when we successfully cast a spell, or no? Just for other
No,
things.
that's just you do that for a rune spell, or you will do it in this instance if you succeed here. So your power, we'll just go one at a time. Rue, what is your power?
My power is 11.
Okay, so 11 against the 14.
Oh, so I don't roll. Okay.
Yeah, you will. Everyone's going to. Everybody has a different number here, though. Okay, roll your power, Rue.
Got a
roll me
42.
Get 42 is a failure. Okay.
Ah, womp womp.
You become very confused.
Shit.
Just like what all of a sudden you don't know where you are, you don't
Up,
know what's
down.
going on. You're just kind of wandering around,
My high.
not knowing what's happening.
It's the mushrooms, bro.
Kymese, what is your power?
Yes. 19.
Okay, so roll me a check, man.
Oh, unless it's half of that because I gave it to my fetch. Which
No,
one?
you go with your full power with your fetch.
Okay. So 19.
Give me a roll, man.
I rolled a 21.
Nice.
Okay, so you know, I think I'm actually doing this the opposite way, but that's okay. I'm going to allow you guys to do it because fuck it. I started now. All right, you're good, man. Mark your thing for a increase.
What thing? Power?
Nothing happens to you. Give yourself a power check because you can see if your power increases.
Okay.
You resist. You feel something trying to like claw at your mind from this thing, but it doesn't happen.
Lunar madness.
In the moment,
Ah!
I'm
Nothing
feral.
happens to you.
I'm a feral badger right now with no mind.
Ryan, what is your power?
16.
Give me a roll.
I got a 15.
You're good. Check your power. You feel this thing clawing at your mind, but it doesn't. Whatever it is, you're able to like your sheer rage and hatred of lunar things enables you to like just shake it off. Des, give me a roll.
Come with me, brother. The trees, they're talking.
No, I think I'm.
They're not.
Des has a crazy high power for
Kymers,
whatever
I see
reason.
what you're talking about. This rock
hasn't-
has so much to say.
Yeah, what is your power, Des?
18
Jesus, dude. All right,
Yeah,
all right, roll.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I got a
Tracks
9.
that high with an 11 fails.
You're good, dude. Check your power. Nothing happens to you. You are unfazed by this loon. Dareston seems unfazed, but often seems to start
Rude
wandering around
oblivion.
like ruin.
Brother.
Everybody also lose a magic point.
Hey, but our boy Dareston fucking got it.
You feel something just siphoning this energy from you as well. You all lose a magic point. And now we'll go back to actions. Rue, you don't get one because you're just out there wandering around, lost. Yeah. So all sane people.
Can I
Tell me what you're
augment my
gonna do.
dagger with my hatred for chaos?
You absolutely can.
Hell yeah, dude.
So that takes no time. Roll for that, and then the dagger attack would be your dex plus the dagger, which I think puts you at strike rank 7. So I'm just trying to figure out what other people are doing because it's going to be a matter of Des. What are you doing?
I'm going to attack it again with my axe, which will put me at 6.
6. Bryn, what are you doing?
I want to cast mobility and attack with my hand axe. I don't know if I have enough space for that though.
So mobility is a 1-point spell or a 2?
Mobility is a 2-point spell.
So what is your dex strike
I have
rank?
it as a 1-point spell.
Right,
Yeah,
really?
I think it's a
Yeah.
1-point spell.
1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my dex is 2, so that's a strike rank 3.
So that's 3. You cast that, and then the attack with your axe is probably.
It's like 6.
So you would normally
So
it would be
3.
6s.
It would
So
be
you get
3,
3,
then 9.
and then you're 9. So yeah, on 9 you'll hit with the axe. All
Okay.
right. And Kymrese, you augment, and then with the dagger, what is your dex and size strike rank?
Yep. So dex is 3, size is 2.
So that's 5. And then the dagger is dagger has its own one too. Hold on, a minute, I
4.
gotta go to.
4?
Dagger has 4, so that's a 9.
Yeah. Okay, so you go on 9. So all right, so Des is the first one to go. So it's going to be Des, Bryn, and Kymrese go at the exact same time, basically, on this thing. So Des, roll your thing first and see how you do.
All right. I got a 24 out of 77.
Okay, so that's still a regular success, but you still got him,
Okay.
I think, right? Yeah, because it was Yep. All right. Well, you
I'm not good at percentages.
Me
so-
neither, but I just remembering that Bryn just made a special when she rolled a 14. So
15 points of damage.
Damn.
What happens, man?
Did you? Is this a how do you want to do it? Did you get him?
I'm not saying how do you want to do it, but he did get him. Yes.
Woo!
I'm not stealing.
Wow, you actually killed
catchphrases.
this one and you can take credit for it. Good job.
In front of everyone.
Too bad we didn't take it down together. We could have chopped and met in the
Bitch.
middle. Like a
Yeah.
tree.
I think so. Des will come at it. He'll come down to the shoulder and then just kind of cleave through the torso down to the hip.
And
On
it
the other
just
side.
dissipates as you do it. It's not as solid as it looks, so it's pretty easy to actually cut through it. And it kind of screams a really awful scream and just kind of dissipates. Becomes a red mist that kind of floats around in the air, but eventually like swirls away to nothing. Rue, you and often you're out of it for like a half hour.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I think. Am I like hallucinating or like?
You are like
Am I like in full wolf mode right now? Am I just like growling people like
you're
running to a bush?
you know
Like,
what you're like? You're like Mitch McConnell, like forgetting what he's doing in the middle of this of a press conference.
that's
Just
so
saying,
much worse.
and people are just like, it's
Question.
time to go home, Mitch. That's what you are, Mitch McConnell right now. Yes,
Lich McConnell.
Lich McConnell. Don't
Can I
disparage
just
liches like
can
that.
I just play my drum that I got from the
Sure.
spirit? Can I
Sure.
just play my drum that I got from the
Oh,
spirit
fuck.
world that like helped me like ground myself? I'm just
Absolutely.
gonna play my drum near Rue.
Yeah.
It's okay, Rue. We'll direct you and sit you
You're
down.
like you want to sit right here, and I'm like, who are you? Who's Rue? I have questions.
It takes a while, but eventually,
I recognize so and only so. I'm just gonna hug my wolf.
you're just like my emotional support wolf.
My sister.
No,
You and I are the same.
My emotional support.
no.
This is mine. I don't get it, but it's mine.
Yeah. This makes sense. This makes sense.
Eventually, though, it comes back to you, and you're okay.
What the fuck
But it
was
takes a
that?
while. It takes a
That
while.
was a very
Home,
disturbing
Grandma.
experience. Fuck.
But people are impressed. Nobody died, so that's a good thing. Nobody really got too badly hurt. So it's considered, by and large, a good omen.
Oh, good.
Only one of you was confused and misled.
Two.
Hey,
Two,
me
'cause
and
it
Offen.
got
It was this
often.
thing.
It got often.
But I get
too.
a drink with
Yeah.
Offen, my bud here. Let's
Yeah.
drink something.
You drink some mead. Yeah, you can drink some mead
Yes.
afterwards, and you feel better. The next day is dedicated to Shalana Arroy.
Ah.
Nothing
girl.
is sacrificed that day. Nobody eats any meat. Typically, if anyone was like injured or hurt in the fighting, they'll be healed. If they died, they would be brought back to life. But none of that happened. So that's a good thing. So it's kind of just a nice chill day. There are some offerings to Shalana, and people hang out. And Kymrese, I know you kind of wanted to talk to her, to Arissa.
Is
At some
this the
point.
day?
Oh,
This
shit.
This is a perfect day for it,
Will
man.
make grilled cheese sandwiches. That is the vegetarian sandwich of the day.
It truly do be.
That has bacteria in it, which are living things.
So that and the next couple of days are kind of chill days. So sometime over the next couple of days will be a good day for that for you if you wanted. Kymrese.
Do it on Bake Shalana Oroy Day, just in case it destroys her. It destroys her at the most inopportune time.
That sounds great.
Fuck you guys.
Wonderful.
Now
So I think-
concentrate on all your most important rights. Then leaves.
So I do want to just quickly rewind to the day before, or I think it was 2 days before, where we prayed silently to like whatever gods we chose to do.
Yep.
Super prayers.
Mm-hmm.
So I went off into the woods per
Mhm.
usual, and I found a very quiet spot, and I said a prayer. Basically I said a prayer reinforcing the taboo that I got from my battle with the bad man, which was one of them was to speak only the truth.
Mhm.
And there's been a truth that I have been unable to speak. So I just basically prayed for guidance and following through with my oath, I guess.
Yep.
So the spot that I found was a very quiet little area in the woods, and the ground was covered with, thin layer of frost snow. And there were, there was a large tree that was there too. And it just seemed like a very quiet, kind of sheltered place. It was excluded and or it was kind of isolated from everything else. Sorry, the chat's going stupid. Now I know how literally everybody else feels whenever they try to do anything remotely serious. Sorry, guys. So on this day, I guess at some point
Joel could be
I do
licking a
find
window right now.
dude, that was insane. It was so funny. I find you, Arissa, and I ask, do you will you go for a walk with me?
Sure, of course.
And I've got my blanket wrapped around me because it's a little chilly. So wearing way more clothes than normal. Sorry, guys. And I think Arissa, we kind of walk through the town a little bit, and we pass by that fire in the center of town. And I just kind of stand at it for a minute, and I'm warming up my hands near the fire, and I kind of look over at you, just kind of quickly glance at you, and then glance back at the fire, and I say, "There's a place that I wanted to show you that's not too far from here. If you have some time."
Of course. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. And I just he just stares at you for just a moment. And as the firelight kind of reflects off of your face, and he smiles, and he leads you towards this spot in the forest. And it's outside of town just a little ways. It's not too far away. And as we get there, everything is very quiet. The forest it's still. There's not a lot of sounds of birds or creatures or anything like that. All that you hear is kind of that crunch of the soft snow beneath our feet as we're walking. And I take you to this spot beneath this massive pine tree. And I kind of stand there for a minute and I stop. And I take the blanket off of my shoulders and I lay it on the ground. And I sit down and I just invite you to have a seat next to me.
Yeah, she sits down.
And I like to think at this point, Kymrese is sitting side by side with you. He's not looking at you. He's sitting to the side of you. And you're sitting on the side of him.
Yeah.
And he kind of closes his eyes and he just takes a deep breath. And he does that a few more times. And you swear that as he does this, you start to feel the air around you almost vibrate. It's almost like it's moving with this energy. And it's something that's just above your level of consciousness. And he opens his eyes and he looks at you. And he gives you a nervous smile. And then he looks back away from you, and you can tell he's very conflicted. This is very hard for him. But finally he says, Orisa, there's something I need to tell you. Something I've wanted to tell you for so long, but that I could never find the breath to say. On my journey recently, I saw many wonderful things. And he has a flashback to this rabbit that he had dinner with, and this shaman that he ran into on his journey, and the seed that he planted with this little spirit creature thing. And he says, I saw many dark things too. And he swallows hard and his eyes stare straight ahead as he remembers those hands in the darkness caressing him. There were moments where I was cold, hungry, tired. Moments where I was scared. And he sees that entity of earth, that rotting flesh creature in front of his face. But whenever darkness came, I closed my eyes and remembered you. You have this light within you, Orisa. It burns so powerfully, not like the sun, but like a warm fire in the center of a place I call home. You are possessed of such a strength, not like a massive mountain like Carafin, but like the last wildflower blooming in a late frost, unafraid of the long cold nights to come. I have discovered so much in this time since we have traveled together, and honestly, I mostly just have more questions. But there is one thing that I am certain of. He swallows hard. No matter where this road takes me, no matter how far from home or how dangerous this journey, I want to be with you. I want to be by your side because when you are with me, I feel safe. The rivers flow calmly and unhurried. The fire feels like a warm embrace. The winds dance as if they move to a song that never ends. I guess what I'm trying to say is you are the best part of this crazy world, and I don't want to be in it without you. I love you. And he turns and he looks at you. And when that happens, you see fireflies. It's freezing cold. It's the middle of winter. They shouldn't be here, but they are. And there's fireflies that are dancing around. And you see a little wildflower, a little blue wildflower that blooms up from the frost. And the air is just alive with magic.
She is silent for a moment, just taking everything in, and you see this light in her eyes that you recognize when she's seeing something new and bright and beautiful. And you could see her try and start a sentence a couple times and nothing is coming out. until she reaches into her bag and pulls out a small bundle. I was gonna wait to give you this, but open it and I think you'll know my answer.
He goes to grab the bundle from you, and you see his hands just shaking.
Her hands are also
His
shaking.
hands are just shaking. And he takes the bundle.
You unravel it, and inside is a blanket, a thick, hand-woven blanket. And as you lift it up and hold it out, you see a full panorama. It's a field full of beautiful orange flowers, a sunset creating the perfect shadow on the background, and the light of stars brings your attention to two different flowers at the front. One is a beautiful baby blue, and the other is gray. And they are planted together. And she lets him take a look at that for a minute, and then very quietly finally manages to get the words out. I love you too.
He's looking at the blanket and he's taking it all in, and you can tell that he's looking at the blanket not like anybody else would look at a blanket, right? He's looking at this blanket for something so much deeper. His hands are feeling the cloth and thinking about how you worked to make this. He's just looking at it so much deeper. And then you say that, and he just looks at you, and he smiles, and he just kind of like fluffs out the blanket and just holds your hand and looks up at the stars and the fireflies.
And even though she's just a little bit taller, she just kind of leans her head down on his shoulder.
The Hallmark
Perfect.
special came early. A Christmas quilt to share.
Amazing. Awesome.
Amazing.
Okay.
Can you
Perfect.
tell whose
Great
blanket idea
opportunity.
came easiest?
That's awesome. I love it. Great cutscene. On to the next day. Good job, Marissa.
Oh, fuck, man.
You didn't cry. That's amazing. That's good.
I got close.
She's close. She's close.
I think I almost got her too when I was giving her the tendons, which is a very different gift, but sweet in its own way nonetheless.
It was very sweet. I cried for Arissa and Descar's gift from you.
Not yours, shit.
I mean, I like mine, but no, I didn't cry, but I liked mine.
Yours is liver. Lots of
Liver
iron.
is for the seed of courage, man.
Yeah,
It's the
and
best
liver
part
also
of it.
I
like
could have given her the heart, but that, it's too on the nose. Like,
yeah, liver also like breaks things down in the body. I like it. Breaks down the bad stuff.
she's brave.
So the next days, a couple days pass. The 11th day, the Lightbringers return with Morganeth, because Ronaldo is reborn. Liv and Israla and everybody no longer dress in mourning. The young girls of the Vale lead a procession throughout the whole Vale and throw flowers, and they do a dance for Voira, the Spring Maiden. And this is actually a pretty happy day, but also pretty relaxed day. That parade is the main part of it, and for the rest of the day, it's pretty relaxed. People spend a lot of time just visiting with friends and family, exchanging small gifts, that sort of stuff.
Is this when Arissa can go on her blanket spree?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I have these written down.
Blankets for all.
It's very important. Listen, Blanket Quest. It truly. So she goes around and she'll find all her friends wherever she can. She'll find Discara and just without any words, just holds out a wrapped bundle very excitedly.
He'll take it, and before like unraveling it to see what it is, he will ask, he's like, oh, what's this?
A gift. Thank you for being my friend.
He'll open it and inspect the now he knows it is a blanket.
So it's large, it's Discara sized. And it is another hand done one, and it is a scene of the forest on the outskirts. And the moon shines down on a large shadow of a bear in the forest. But it also, a specific beam highlights this tree where you can see a large cat lurking from on top of the tree and looking
Nice.
down.
For a moment, I thought it was going to be the beam illuminates a wasp's nest.
I thought it was
hanging in
too.
this
That's
tree.
exactly what I thought it
I
was
was
going
like,
to
it's
be.
also a Christmas troll. I love it.
I wanted the cat to be involved. I love the cat.
The
Stealing the show. Nightclaw.
he will inspect it and noticing all the little things and just say, it's just like, oh, it's like, is this supposed to be Nightclaw, pointing to the cat in the tree?
That's what I was going for. I know Nightclaw's not the easiest model to get to stand still and take in the details of. I don't know how they feel about me, but I try.
I'm sure he's fond of you in his own way.
I'll take indifferent at best for a cat. Like, as long as he doesn't hate me, I'm cool with it.
Oh shit.
No, Nightclaw is, despite his demeanor when he's out and about, he still
Asshole.
I love the image of one of the lunars at the slaughter just like crawling across the ground, reaching for his sword, and Nightclaw just standing
like,
there watching him and then just pushing it off the cliff.
God, yeah.
That was last session. It was so funny.
He will take the blanket and thank you, Arissa. I'm sad to say I haven't thought of been able to get any gifts for any of you. I've been
Feeding the clan is a good reason
Yeah,
to not have
she's
gifts.
like,
out in the woods too much.
you didn't need to.
Eating the clans, dear
have-
embryo, really?
You've provided so much for everyone, not just for the clan as a whole, but whenever the group of us go out, you're always providing, whether by hunting or being a voice of reason.
Thank you.
She'll give him a hug, and then she'll run off and figure out which of her friends she can find next, and she knows generally where to find Rue and knows that Bryn is probably never too far off. So I don't know if it's up to y'all whether she finds them together or separately.
Rue's gonna be alone this time.
Okay, so she'll
Thanks.
find where is he?
He's in his house and he's cooking like a lot of things, and he looks very relieved when you show up. And he's like, "Oh, Larissa, I need you to tell me what these things are missing."
What? Wait, what's missing?
This is perfect. I don't know what I'm gonna make for Bryn's grandmother when we have dinner. So I've been doing test dishes, and I think it's missing like a herb or a spice or something. And could you just tell me what you think?
Yeah, help him like figure out spices and herbs and recommend some. Be like, oh, you know what? I have some of this. I can give you some. I have and then she'll get through that all, and then just, oh wait, I came here to give you something, and then she pulls a wrapped package out of her bag.
Oh, Marissa, you didn't have to do that, but thank you.
I wanted to.
He will open it up.
And it is a blanket where a lot of the others had the first two had their scenes portrait. It's in landscape, and it is a portrait of Syl leaping over a mountain with the moon shining on her fur. She looks like she's just completed a successful hunt. There's a little bit of blood dripping from her maw. She looks pleased. And you can faintly see in the background what appears to be a human leg. A severed human leg.
Oh my gosh, he has
The right leg.
he has a good chuckle at that. He's like, "This is incredible. How did you do this?"
A lot of work. I've spent a lot of winter time in the loom house.
Wow, the dyes and the
Your
Ursa,
mom
this must have
helped a
taken you
lot.
forever.
Your mom helped with a lot of the dyes and stuff.
I love it.
Thank you.
Syl is going to love this so much.
I hope so. Also, dinner with Bryn's grandma?
Okay, I don't know for sure that it's happening yet, but I feel like what's about to happen technically counts as us all going to war together. So I think I have won a bet on a technicality.
This is why we're friends. That's hilarious. I'm gonna make a quick stop and then I'll come back and bring you all those herbs.
Thank you so much.
And then she'll give him a hug and then she'll go run off to find Bryn.
He will give you some food to take with you, like also like
She
you
will
take this home.
gladly-
And
Yep.
there's some vegetable dishes.
She will gladly take food home. And I don't know, where does she find Bryn?
Bryn's probably where she used to find her when they were young. Bryn's probably out in the field. She's done a lot of riding with Ord lately.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, she would know that's probably like a good spot to look for her. And she'll see her on top of Ord and just wave. Bryn,
Carissa!
I come bearing a gift. And she just pulls it out of her bag.
I didn't get you anything!
You didn't need to.
She'll open it like right away.
So at first when you look at it, it's hard to tell what it is because there's like all these different colors and stuff. And she's like, hold on. And she'll take it and she'll go up towards Ort and just like tuck one corner of it into his saddle and then hold the other part out herself. And she's like, take a couple steps back. And as soon as Bryn steps back, it's one of those things where you can't see it right up close, but at a distance you can see it. It's similar to Ruse. It's landscape. It's what appears to be a large battlefield, but with a large version of Vinga overseeing it, giving commanding orders, and it looks like her side is winning.
Oh my god, it's perfect.
But like a battlescape on a quilt. This is incredible.
Holy
Love it.
crap.
Quilt.
Holy crap.
Hell yeah. War quilt.
Stitched with the very tendons that Rue gave her.
Hey, you can use those for all kinds of things, man.
This must have taken you forever.
I spent a lot of time in the loom house.
I appreciate these little blood splatters.
I got you. I had a feeling you would notice.
I love it. Thank you, Arissa.
You're welcome. Just a little gift. Show my
Just gonna
appreciation.
Wrap herself up in her blanket.
It's a big blanket for
Yes.
like Discara's is the biggest, but then everyone else's is like a pretty good sized blanket.
Yes. Yes.
Which is great because Rue can never get Syl out of this. So
Like, this is mine, yeah?
Well-sized.
she's like, does a circle nest.
It's a picture of me. Yeah.
This means it's mine, right?
She's like, damn, I look good. Like,
So,
Damn, I'm cute.
Rue,
Thank you.
Arissa's left, and you're working on some recipes, and you hear there's a knock at your door.
if it's Bryn, I'm gonna be in trouble. He's just gonna push stuff like back on a table, and then he will go over and answer the door.
It's Gordangar.
Oh shit! He's
Smells
just gonna.
really good in here.
Are you hungry?
I mean, I've been feasting all day, but this, I wouldn't say no.
Come in.
Comes in.
He's
Looks
not
around.
gonna- I'm just practicing a few dishes for the holidays. Thank you. I had help.
Take a walk with me?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk out. And it's like I pictured this like Marissa, when do you think you had gone there? The time of day?
She probably would have done it. Arissa tends to do more earlier in the day, so maybe like midday-ish.
Very chill day in the Vale. People are going and visiting family. Not much is going on. So Gordon goes like, just I like to get away from everyone. Everyone wants to come see me. You know how it is. It's a little too peoply. So let's hit the woods.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It's kind of
Stroll
like
in the
just
woods.
eating this
There's
piece of
time
meat
where
as
he's
they
like a
walk.
honey badger just digging holes.
What is
He just-
Where
he
did all
just-
these holes come
He
from?
just ignores that. So I've
Time
been
Reese is
given
like, I
some.
learned this wisdom from a rabbit.
I've been
What
I've
the
been
fuck is
thinking
happening?
about our last conversation, and I understand that you've been talking to some other people.
Yeah, I thought that might get out.
Morganeth talked to me. Not in a bad way.
Damn,
Not in a
last
bad
person
way.
I thought would spill the beans.
Not in a bad way. She told me you had some very good ideas and I should listen, and I listened to Morganeth. And then even Caledon said the same thing. So, I mean, sometimes I listen to him.
I know you do.
Idiot. Whatever it is, he thinks it's wonderful, so let me hear it.
I don't like this plan. I hate it. But I think it will work. I'll just tell it to you straight. There's a spot about 3/4 of a mile up the Deer Run that we can dam.
Close to Hontrell's Bridge, right underneath it.
And it will take the cooperation of the spirits, the Doe Run, Earth goddesses. It'll take everything we have to do. But if we can dam the river up there at that spot, it will hold a lot of water. Enough water to flood the Vale if it were to blow at once. Enough water to kill hundreds of lunars if they dare set foot here. And it will destroy everything else. But this will still be our home. And we can rebuild.
We can come back.
We've
But
done
we're
it
going to
before.
have to fight them because they're not just going to come into the Vale.
Yes, if we have to move out all of the non-combatants first, in small groups over several weeks. We have to move supplies with them, and the people who stay behind, they all have to be a part of this. They have to be warriors, fast warriors who can clear the floodplain after we give the signal very, very quickly. We need our shamans and our priests, the spirits, smiths, craftsmen, everyone who can contribute. It'll have to be a force that's large enough to look reasonable to the Lunars to meet them at the mouth of the Vale and to draw them further into the floodplain and to fight them long enough for the folks up there to blow the dam. And then it will be up to them to get out. And they'll have to cover their retreat. And I know not everyone will make it, but our people could.
There's only one thing you're not thinking of.
Tell me.
And as she says that, you hear the clapping of hoofs. And the royal walks out of the woods and like joins your conversation. The royal's a big, huge deer with like a 20-point rack. And
a little more comfortable around the royal than he was, say, at the beginning of the campaign.
It's an Iowa deer right there.
And the royal just looks right at you and says, Black Stag. is the Harrowborn, but the Black Stag is also the Veil. Then Gordagar says, I like your plan, Rue. And we're going to go with it. But we're just going to add one part. We're going to change two things. The first is, I will lead the force that does the fighting action. The second part is you, when the time comes, will get the stag spirit because the royal will carry it. Because the stag spirit is separate from the royal. I think I have to point this out now. The royal is like the incarnation of the black stag, but the black stag spirit actually technically resides in the sacred ash tree that has the big deer skull hanging from it.
Oh shit! And the royal is gonna go carry it out, and I'm gonna cover him.
So that day, you and these other people that have marked by this dragon for some reason, destroy the tree, and the stag will carry the spirit. The last time we left, the stag didn't come with us. But we had no enemies to lead the Val in their hand. Everyone was dead, killed by dragons. That won't be the case this time.
I had another thought about that.
What's that?
I'm going to talk to the Telmori in the mountains about watching the Veil.
I mean...
I know how it went last time. I do, but I hope I've proved that we don't have to be our ancestors.
If anyone's going to listen to you, they'll listen to one of you over any out of us. So I'll give you my blessing on that.
They can also give us early warning when the Lunars are spotted. They won't be able to tell a wolf howl from a Telmari howl, but I can.
Okay. I'll trust you with the future of the clan, Rue.
I love my home.
I know you do. I do too. You remember when, seems like a really long time ago, but just in the spring, we sacrificed Longbellow, the cow?
Yeah, I do.
And before that, he had all the food he could want, his pick of the cows, except for the scars. But he had the best of everything, right? It's the same thing for a chieftain or a king. When times are good, you get the best of everything. I've had the best clear wine. I've had the best cuts of meat.
Why? He won't say that.
When times are bad, you have to get the bitterest drafts and the heaviest burden. That's what a chief does. That's what a leader does. It stands between the gods and his people. So I trust you with our future.
I will not falter.
I don't think you will.
Look at the royal again. I just give him a nod.
Kind of gets that kind of like thing.
Wolf and stag team up. Who would have thunk it?
All right. Well, have some more of that meat.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty good. My drink's empty.
He head back. And the next day.
Fuck, this is happening.
The next day is dedicated to Lankar Mai. the Gray Sage. And it's in a lot of ways, it's one of the most important parts of holy sacred time, because this is when the omens are read. And the omens are bad. And the mood in the Val is pretty grim. And
Shit, they haven't even
night-
heard about the flood yet.
that night, everybody's still kind of gathered around this great fire, and Gordagar steps forward. Everybody's got plenty of drink. He makes sure of it. There's plenty of food, and Gordagar steps forward. And I have to pull this up here.
Oh shit! Speak.
And he says, "Fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, my blood and my kin. 5 centuries ago, our ancestors were a people besieged. Like a man standing on a hill watching floodwaters rise all around him, they saw everything around him being washed away by lies and poisons of the emperors of warm friends. They watched the old ways die, and they could not fight this flood. They couldn't hold it back. If they stayed too long, they would drown. So, it was Tarangor, son of Kostra, one of our ancestors. He stood here, right here, and he said to all of them, 'It is time for us to leave.' And everyone's like, oh, no. This gasp. It is time for us to leave. And everybody again murmurs. Some of our forefathers fought at Grizzly Peak. Many of us fought at Bold Home. Many of us lost people we loved in these rebellions. They don't have their fathers here because they died trying to win back our freedom. And I have a man who would call himself our king on the throne in Clearwine, who will do nothing to prevent us from being enslaved at best, or fed to the bat at worst. And to that I say, there's always another way. Everyone kind of starts to... To that I say, violence is always an option. Now everyone's like, fuck yeah.
Pounding tables and stuff.
Yep, pounding tables. We will leave. We will melt away. We will get the people who cannot fight to safety. But we will not give up our land without their lives and their blood. This I swear to you as your chief. And everyone's like, I think that's where we're going to end.
Fuck
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
The greatest session of RuneQuest we've ever played.
I think so.
Rush.
Shit.
Fuck. I'm souped for the finale, guys.
Ugh.
Ooh, carrying the whiter out shit. Rue was like, fuck, Bryn really wants to be on that battlefield.
Dude, it is so amazing that Reese was like, yo, we need boats. Like,
when I messaged
months
Christian
ago.
with my idea,
months ago.
the first thing that me and Christian we were both literally like, oh my God, the boat. Like, and I told
said
Jess,
the
and Jess was
boat.
like, oh my God, the boat.
See,
That
come
was the
true.
first thing I said too, yeah.
I literally,
Fucking
I
boat.
created this thing subconsciously, and it just,
You
So
I
many
embrace
pieces
Kenneth.
fell together in this plan. It was crazy. Like so many things calling back from different parts of this campaign. It's
hell
crazy.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
meant
that
to
was
be.
awesome, guys. Thank you.
Fuck.
Yeah. That was a great session. Oof, man. So we're
Sarah's
not-
face when I first said the plan, though, I was like watching it. Sarah was like shook. She was like, "We're gonna what?"
we're gonna
I make
chill
a lot
these
of
fuckers.
faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just listen to us on the podcast, you don't realize how much of a muppet I am when you see my face.
I
I'm
love
with you, Sarah. I make a lot of facial expressions too.
I
Yeah.
get you.
yeah.
They're mostly those of shame and disgust whenever I speak.
No, stop. No, I think
No,
this was
he's
like
right.
in a lot of
No,
ways,
no, he's right.
he's right. It was one of our most wholesome sessions too, though.
It was
To be
very
fair.
sweet.
We finally made it happen,
I
T-Roy.
dropped some things in there that I was surprised about.
Before I was like, nah, Rue's gonna be alone because he's gonna be practicing cooking for that dinner. I thought I saw Jess about to be like that she had an idea for them being together. Now I don't know what it was gonna be. Ah, foiled.
I like Bryn. She's writing a lot right now, especially after seeing
The
Aaron.
weirdos got together.
Yeah, I know you
Did it
guys
really?
actually said it. You guys said the words.
They said the L word. They
They
did
said
it.
the words.
But he's hooking up without us.
Descara is over here just surrounded by a Harlem.
Harlem?
Yeah,
Harem.
Harem?
A harem.
Whatever.
Harlem,
Harlem.
like
A Harlem.
holes.
No, he's surrounded by the Harlem
Oh, that's horrible.
Globetrotter.
15 balls and 1 cow.
Yeah,
hey,
it all
yes.
comes back.
Wow. That poor cow.
Fuck. I love it.
So next session actually will not be the finale. We're doing a holiday special.
Yep.
Which Rainey is running because I do need a little break and I need a little extra time to prepare all the brilliance that my players came up with. So next session will be the DMs After Dark holiday special where we're going to do a parody of like Hallmark Christmas movies. It's just going to be pretty cool. I'm actually really excited about it. And then that session after that will be the 6th season finale. And then there will probably be, I think, one more session that's just like an epilogue session for it, which is really, it's the first session of Company of the Dragon, but I think it works better as the ending of 6 seasons personally. So we're going to do that. I don't know. That's all I have, Sarah. I'm kind of like amazed at how awesome that session was. It was
guys.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
He needs more time to plan
little,
for me taking everything totally off script.
we're gonna do a
You
little
did
something
fine.
special too for the holidays episode.
That's correct. Yep. Yes. We will discuss that though next
So
time.
be
for next-
viewers.
Say-
That's all we need to
Yeah.
say. Be
Yeah.
viewers.
I was gonna say I don't know what the special thing we're doing is, so now I'm worried.
Oh no,
It's fine. It's fine.
You know what it is.
It's fine.
I think the 29th, Raz Fox. Yeah, I think so. We'll talk because it kind of depends if people are traveling on the holidays and stuff. So probably, but we'll talk.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Kent and I's finale for Tangled Blessings just dropped today. This is the end conclusion of our 4 years at a dark
Yeah, and
academy.
I listened to the character creation, but I haven't listened to the rest. But I really need to because it was like I heard such good things about it. So
Yeah, I mean, the game blew us away. I
Mhm.
also think that the ending was not what I thought it was going to be at all. Like the direction of this game, it just was not in a good way. Like,
Hell yeah.
I actually, Jess, I have to text you something that I thought of afterwards that would resonate with your character in Tangled Blessings.
spoilers, it's real sad. Oh, man.
Shit.
It was, oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that's out today.
Go give a listen if you want to be sad, I guess. All right. But let's wrap this show up. Thank you everyone so much for joining us on the wildest, most heart-pounding yet wholesome episode of DMs After Dark. If you enjoy us here and you want to keep up with us and get notified when we go live on Twitch, you can hit the follow button. All you need is a Twitch account. That part's free. If you want to give us money, which you do not have to do, you can subscribe for $5 a month and you will get a happy little subscriber badge, as well as 2 little emotes, one of them being the Detective 20, so you can use our homeboy favorite man on the planet other than Yukon Cornelius on every single Twitch channel you want to go visit and spread the Detective 20 love. If you have Amazon Prime and you have Amazon Prime hooked up to your Twitch account, you can give us 5 of Jeff Bezos's dollars and you get the same benefits, but
Way
it's
better.
Jeff Bezos's money instead.
Yes.
You can
and he
follow.
doesn't need any more than he has.
He really
That's
doesn't.
right. Skim some from
Like
the horde.
stealing from a dragon's hoard.
That's right.
Only literally he has more. So
Right.
Yes,
Literally
more
more
than any
than smelled.
fictitious dragon ever described in the history of fiction.
If you missed the first part of the session and you want to catch up, the VOD will be up on our YouTube channel on Monday. So you'll be able to watch all our Muppety faces as Rue drops the rock down. You can follow us on all of the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky. We are on Blue Sky now. If you just search for DMs After Dark, that'll be us. You'll recognize the Detective 20 logo and all the good shit. Someone
And my
like
astounding haircut.
within like 3 days of us being on Blue Sky, someone already tweeted the Crimson Bat at us. I'm like, you little fuckers.
Yes.
Oh,
Disney is
God.
amazing. I
Stop
fucking
it.
love them.
Delicious.
Yes, I fucking love them. So also off one of our listeners who like messages us on Facebook for a while is actually getting a 3D printed 100mm bat that he's going to try to like get a mini of like the Red Goddess to put on and paint. And I was like, you better send me pictures of this thing when you see it, make
That
it,
sounds
because
fantastic.
I need to see that.
And then, of course, you can follow us on all the podcast apps under DMs After Dark. That holds this series, all of our mini-series, podcast exclusives, all that good shit. You can email us at dmsafterdark@gmail.com. Emails have been fucking wild and fantastic, and I love it. And as we said at the start of the stream, guys, I'm tired. So many of you had us in like your top percentages in Spotify for podcasts, which is fucking wild. We were the top podcast this year for 19 people. What?
God bless you, 19 weirdos. We love you.
Yeah, that's more people.
19
than we
people have
average a
never
stream.
liked me ever
Our
in the
people.
history of my life.
I was like, that's
And-
more than us. So like,
Yeah.
there are
yeah,
people
it's
out
definitely
there.
not us. Yeah, it's definitely
like,
not us.
You like us, you really, really like us, and that's so fucking amazing, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Do tell us what condiments we and your favorite NPCs are. I am
Yes.
actually interested.
Yeah, I
in
actually
this.
would love to hear
Literally
that too.
email us. That
what
would be
condiments
amazing.
are we? Yeah, I know I'm
whether
mayo.
it's us as people, your favorite characters of ours, favorite NPCs.
Just associate condiments to anything related to our
Anything.
streams.
Yes.
We all
I
need
love
to
it.
know. This is
I love this
vital
idea.
information. Send it to us on whatever social media. Please. This is hilarious.
Reese's Elmer's non-toxic glue. It's not a condiment, but you can eat it.
But it's Tyrese.
Condiment, but you can't eat
And that's why Arissa is aloe vera.
Aww.
Ketamine.
Just Orajel. You could put it
Before
on
I
a cracker.
lose my mind. Have a good night, everyone. And until next time,
Bye.
what blanket would you make your favorite people? And then maybe make it for them. Blankets
Or
are
buy
nice.
one for them if you're not crafty, you know.
Give
Blankets.
blankets.
Blanket that counts.
Give your friend a butchered animal.
Blanket your
Thanks
friends
all.
with love.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Aw.
Good night, everyone.
Right.